Warning. The following program is a recap of the HBCU sports world. It is meant to be comedic and informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their schools, or all black people. There may be some cuss words and some cultural words. If that bothers you, move along. If you're young, please seek permission before watching any further. If you at work, make sure you got your earbuds in. Don't blame us if you get fired. Thank you. The Outspoken Show.
And P.S. Don't be so damn sensitive.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Jet, we Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phrase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, we back. Appreciate you for reaching out. I'm like, hey, it's outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers. Regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off. So glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal. Could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know, but if you don't, then you lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Breaking down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is outspoken, and we gon' put on a show, even if we hear you say I can't stand. It's outspoken.
Hey, backpack. I think we got another one.
What is going on, everybody? Here's your boy Scotty Man back with another one, and I cannot hear myself. All right, listen, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody had a great weekend, man. It was a lot of festivities and a lot of propaganda going on in the world of HBCU sports as well as sports in general. But listen, you know I can't do the show without my brother from another. Please give it up for my boy, Perry White. What's going on, babe?
Feeling good in Jaguar land today, baby. Feeling real good in Jaguar land. I've been looking for all you niggas. Where y'all been at? Feeling good in Jaguar land. Boy, I didn't want to start the show off like that today, but I'm gonna be real humble, but it feel good. It feel good.
Yeah, I saw you with the little picture with the trophy. I was like,
and no, look, don't you do that. You know us as black folks. You know what we like to do. You know what we like to do. We like to diminish. Like, I saw you with your little girlfriend. I see you got a little job now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I see you got a little money in your pocket now. And that there ain't nothing little about that trophy. Come on, ain't nothing little about that. Come on, now, don't do it like that.
a little something, just a little something.
That's more than a little. A little is where Prairie View at, right? A little is where Alcorn at, right? In Texas Southern, and Pine Bluff.
Oh Lordy.
Who else? Grambling. Where you at, Grambling?
Oh Lordy.
It's probably be our least viewed show tonight because everything's set in stone. Ain't nothing left for the people no more. The SWAC championship set, the Celebration Bowl, and the MEAC is set. Folks that lost faith, their hopes and dreams are out the window. They looking for new coaches and better players. So,
everybody.
Everybody
need to be looking for better coaches.
Yeah, I hold up before I get to you because the energy is off tonight, and I don't like it.
Listen, I am on senioritis, okay?
Oh my!
Like God. I feel like a senior about to graduate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just counting down the days. Oh, I'm not using that one. I'm just counting down the days. We just counting down the days. That's all we doing.
That's what happens,
just
right?
Counting down the days.
That's what happens for everybody else. So we headed to grad school. The rest of y'all is over with for you. We got post, right? That means after. Everybody else they done with. This is it. Next week and then the week after. Nobody thought I'd be sitting right here. And this one they really hate it. Can I go there?
Go
glass. Yeah, let me go there because you would have wished to be in this seat that I'm in right now. Because had you been in this seat that I'm in right now, you, Scotty, I know I would not have heard the end of FAMU. I told y'all the Rattlers and listen.
Hold on.
I'll let you. No.
We're not about to do that today.
I'm gonna do that today.
No. I didn't even pick FAMU to come out the division. Who did I pick?
It just depends.
I picked Alabama State. My power. No. We're not doing that today.
I'm just saying, had FAMU won
at Alabama State.
Had FAMU won, no. I didn't say you picked them.
Okay.
I'm not putting words in your mouth.
All right, I just want to make sure we clear.
I'm just saying that pom-pom that's behind you that you did not pick up with them ugly colors on it. Why give me that thumbs up? I guess they believe in me too. If they had won, you would have been a whole different sky.
No, Southern is a trash ass team.
I know that's what they all saying.
It is. That's
what they all saying.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Y'all
That's what they all saying.
Listen, if you got a bad Southern team to run to run to the SWAC West, y'all are bad. And you're going to get embarrassed at the SWAC championship, and you're going to be back in the recruiting season.
I get
That's
it.
what it is.
That's what everybody else is
That's
saying.
really
I
what it
expected
is.
that tonight. I swear to you.
That's really, I mean, really break it down. That's really what it is. It took a missed punt for you guys to beat Texas.
So that's football.
It took you overtime.
So
to beat the bad Prairie View team.
So
y'all are not.
That bad Prairie View team beat FAMU, didn't it?
With no starting quarterback.
I don't care.
With no starting quarterback.
I expected that tonight. The haters are out in full effect.
You're just not a good team. You're really not
a good team, right? And so is FAMU not a good team.
We in the heart of the division.
FAMU not a good team.
They're
Texas
not.
Southern not a good team.
They're
Bama
not.
State is only obviously 2 good teams, and they set to go to the SWAC.
They really not.
In this Southern,
if you would have played Bama State, you would have lost with a team with no on a 5th string quarterback.
I can't help you there because you arguing for a team that ain't headed to a championship.
I'm not. It's nothing to argue about with FAMU. They
you said we're not a bad team, but FAMU.
I said you're not a good team. That's what I said. I said you're not a good team.
Who's the good team of the conference?
Jackson State's probably the best team.
Okay, besides them. Okay, if we playing a championship, who's the other good team?
FAMU's better than y'all because we beat y'all.
Okay, they beat us, but then they go lose it to Valley.
And we mollywopped y'all.
It happens, okay, because I like that. I like that. We beat Prairie View.
Who mollywopped you though?
We beat Prairie View, then Prairie View beat FAMU.
Who mollywopped you though?
We beat Prairie View, then Prairie View beat FAMU.
And
make that make sense.
Both teams that are better than you mollywopped you, and every other team it was a close game. Let's not play this game.
Y'all know what this sounds like? A team that ain't in the SWAC championship.
I'm telling you. And what happened last time you was in the SWAC championship?
It don't matter. I was there.
It was a loss. And
I was there.
The time you played back-to-back Jackson State, what happened?
You know the problem is
35, because you love to bring up history when you beat
Jackson. I do bring up history. Let me tell you about that history.
Let's bring it up.
Let me tell you about that history.
Let's bring it up.
Everybody else, regardless of win and lose, you sit at home and you would have loved to be in this situation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You would have loved to be sitting where I'm sitting.
We're going to love watching you lose.
Yeah.
That's
Prairie View, FAMU,
lose.
Bama State.
It's all good.
Texas Southern.
It is all good.
Grambling.
It's going to be another year.
Alcorn.
Another year you're not in the Celebration Bowl.
You don't know.
I know that much. Y'all not good.
Now all of a sudden Jackson State good to you.
They better than y'all.
You've been arguing to me about Jackson State.
Has Southern ever been in my top 5? Has Southern ever been in my top 5?
But you've been arguing to me like Jackson State.
I have never put Southern in my top 5. I've never said Southern's a good team.
So all of a sudden Jackson State's so great now.
They better than y'all.
Oh, well, we're going to play a championship and find out.
And they going to mollywop you. And then you're going to go back to being
Jackson State fans, y'all clip this because he clearly a Jackson State fan now.
I would never.
That's all I hear is Jackson State this, Jackson State that. That's all I hear.
Is that not the championship game?
Who in the championship game?
Is that not the championship game?
Who's in it?
Is that not the championship game?
On December 7th, what's the 2 teams playing?
You're not good.
What's the 2 teams playing?
I told you what it looked like to win a championship game.
What's the 2 teams playing in the championship on December 7th?
Then you've been to one. Name the last time you've been to one.
2022?
No, name the last time you've been to a Celebration Bowl. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Personally, I've been to a Celebration Bowl.
No. When has Southern been to a Celebration Bowl?
Southern has never been to one.
So you're not even there yet. So pipe down.
If that's all you got, why FAMU not back? Why FAMU not back in the Celebration Bowl?
You haven't even gone, but you're talking about.
But why FAMU not back?
You ain't even
they can't even defend their title.
Never been. If
Southern even defend their title,
stands for Southern wins another championship, you ain't even been to the. You ain't even been to the top. You ain't even been to the mountaintop. What we talking about?
All I know is where's FAMU.
All I know is you ain't won one.
That's okay. That's why we playing championship games.
You ain't never won one. You ain't never been to the mountaintop.
This is exactly what it sounds like when you let Valley come to your stadium.
When you get to the mountaintop,
you attack the people who successful.
Holla at me when you get to the mountaintop.
Here we go. We going to the championship.
We've been there. Been there. Done that.
Will you be there to join me, bro?
In past
December 7th.
Past COVID, we've been there.
Will you be there December 7th to join me?
Will you be in Atlanta?
I don't know. December 7th, you come join me and let's find out.
Are you going to be in Atlanta?
Will you be there December 7th?
Is your team going to be in Atlanta?
I would love to be in Atlanta.
But they won't.
I would love to be in Atlanta,
But
Georgia.
they won't. But they won't.
Will you be there December 7th to see
Will
if we
you
get
be
there?
there? That's the question. Will you be there?
I'm going to be there December 7th to see if we can punch
Is it
that
gonna be your
ticket.
team there?
Come on and join me.
Why?
So we can see, can I punch my ticket to Atlanta?
Who?
I would love to go to Atlanta.
Okay, we'll see what it looks like.
Come join me on December the 7th
What it look like?
so we can see if we get our ticket to Atlanta.
When you win a SWAC championship, it has after COVID. Come holler at me.
Oh, you living on the past. Oh,
No. You living in the past.
I'm in the present.
No.
Hey, Terrence Gray said it best. I'm living in the precious present.
No. You
This
love
is the
living in the
precious
past.
present.
I can tell you about the times you love living in the past.
Well, right now I'm in the precious present.
Okay, and I'm in the
That
present.
precious present said,
The precious present is we got a national championship ring.
it says celebration bowl possibility.
We are a SWAC champion, reigning national champion.
That shit's over with. That ship
Reigning.
sailed.
Reigning.
That ship sailed.
Raining.
It sailed after they
Raining.
lost to Valley and
Raining. See,
Prairie
you
View back to back.
When you ain't never won, you don't understand what
That shit's
reigning
over.
national championship look like.
All I
Raining.
got this
That means
for
you're
you
still,
is
that means you're still in reigning.
you're living in the rain because it ain't
Raining.
raining no more.
Reigning national
It's over
championship.
with.
Raining.
The Rattlers are dead.
Raining.
They got Bethune-Cookman, good luck against Alabama A&M, FAMU. And on December 7th, I would love for you guys to be tuned in to the SWAC championship at 1 o'clock.
Reigning national. See, once again, reigning SWAC champ and reigning national. You keep forgetting. You keep forgetting. You keep forgetting.
I ain't forgot.
No, you forget. No,
I paid homage to FAMU when they won. That was last year.
You forgot.
I'm in a whole new year.
You forgot. It's okay.
I'm in the
here to
precious
remind
present,
you.
baby.
I'm here to remind you. Reigning.
I don't need to be reminded.
Raining.
Didn't you just do a show talking about everybody need to be fired? So why I'm talking about the reigning of everybody need to be fired?
National champion.
Well, why wear your family shirt at tonight?
Reigning national
You
champion.
still wear your family? Put it on.
Reigning.
Don't worry, we'll take
It
it
has
down.
it has to come down. Has it come down?
Rip
Has it
your
come
braids.
down? Has it come down?
Put it
Has
on.
it come down?
Put it
Has it
on.
come down?
Put it on.
Okay, you put it on when you win a championship.
I got put it
when you
on.
win a championship.
Hey, put it on.
Come back on December 7th.
Put
Come
it
back
on.
December 9th, and let's see if you still rapping it. Let's see if you got a championship with that sweat.
Anybody got Kendrick Wade number?
Let's see if you got.
Anybody got Kendrick Wade's number? He
December
said
9th.
that was the biggest victory of his life, of his coaching career. Kendrick Wade, shout out to you.
Let's see if you got a championship on December 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come back on that day and we'll compare rings. We'll compare rings, recent rings, because you like to be in the present, right? We'll compare recent rings.
Shout out to the Jaguars.
December 9th. We'll compare recent rings.
Even Jackson State, the SWAC East Division champions. Hey, we got a game set match. Will you be there? Will there be one?
I won't.
Oh, you don't want to come see Southern and Jackson?
I'm not going there.
Oh my God.
I'm not going there.
Hey, we there. I'll be there.
I hope you will. It's nothing better up and close person to lose.
Whatever the case may be, I'll be there.
Hey, however you take it. However you take it.
That's right. However you take it. You taking it some type of way.
I'm not taking it no type of way.
Everybody sees you feeling you taking it some type of way.
Again. Raining.
Would it have been better to? Would it have been better to defend that title?
I'm confused when you're the reigning champion. That doesn't.
You can't be confused.
National.
I know why you're confused. Because Alcorn knocked y'all ass out, and now you dazed.
No,
I'm like, we can't even defend our title.
I can remember that we're the reigning national black champions.
How you can't defend?
Oh man, that's crazy.
What's crazy is you not defending.
That's crazy.
What's crazy is you not defending your title.
What title you defending?
I'm coming for the SWAC Western, and I'm going to the SWAC championship.
You trying to get one?
Yeah.
You trying to get one? It's okay. I got you. Yeah, go get you one.
That's what we're trying to do.
December 9th. Let's see if you gonna get one. That's
I
all
just
I'm
know
saying.
it feel better to be right now to go get one than it do to be at
December
home
9th,
talking about what I
December
used to
9th, we'll
be.
see how good you feel. That's
Yeah,
all.
fam, you talking about what they used to
December
be.
9th, we'll see how good you feel. That's all I'm saying.
Y'all remember what I used to
Come
be?
back on December 9th and see if you still got the same energy.
What I used to be
Or
is
you'll
what
come in here
fam
talking
you
about,
sound like right now.
oh, I wish Terrence Graves would have did this. Oh, I wish Terrence Graves would have did that.
What I used
don't
to
know
be
why
is
we
what
did
fam
this.
you sounds
I
like
don't know
right
why
now.
we did that. I thought we had this game. I don't even know why Jaguar Nation came. We knew it was going to be the same thing it was in the regular season when we got beat 33-15. That's
What I used to be.
That's what I'm
Damn, homie.
That's
In high
what I'm
school,
waiting
you
for.
was the man, homie. What
We'll
the
see.
fuck happened to you?
We'll see on December 9th who the man is. We'll see on December 9th. That's all I'm saying.
So what you going, if Jackson State win, you all of a sudden a Jackson State fan?
No, I just said we'll see who wins on December 9th. That's
I
all
know, fam, you ain't going to win on December the 9th, the 7th.
It was.
That's all I know.
But I said we were reigning. That's where you're confused. So you ain't won one. We reigning.
That's going to end in 2 weeks. Once that's over, that no longer has anything to do
We'll
with
see
you.
if you're the new champion.
You're not defending that title.
We'll see if you
That
step.
title going to be right
We
there.
shall see if you step in that slot.
Congratulations, fam, you for winning last year's title.
I'm just saying.
Congratulations for winning the 2023 SWAC Eastern Division, fam.
Congratulations to Southern for winning the 2013.
We right here, baby.
I'm asking. It's been a while.
We right here, baby.
So FAMU got into the SWAC 4
When?
years ago and already won a SWAC championship and a national championship.
When they won it. When they won it. When did they win it?
And you ain't won a
When
national
did they
championship.
win it? When did they win it?
That's crazy. So you've been in this conference.
It ain't crazy.
You've been in the conference longer and ain't won a SWAC championship. You ain't won a national championship yet.
They only got one SWAC championship. We got multiple now. Let's not go there.
I said
Let's not go there.
I said
Let's not go there. They got one SWAC championship to add to their trophy case. Congratulations.
2017, that was a Celebration Bowl. What happened 2018? That was a Celebration Bowl. What happened 2019? There was a Celebration Bowl. What happened 2021?
All that matters, Scotty, let me tell you something.
That was a Celebration
It feels good to be there while you sitting at home.
I'm just waiting.
That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
waiting for you to step over that finish.
Hey, it feels good to be there while you at home. That's all I know.
I'm waiting for you to go all the way like Forrest Gump.
You will be watching just like the other
I think
10 years in the SWAC.
will be watching.
And I hope you guys watch so we can get our viewership up of the SWAC championship. And if you want to come join December the 7th, get you a ticket. Come on over and watch the SWAC championship. We would love to have you. Something in Jackson.
What? I just don't understand. Like, what?
What you don't understand is Southern and Jackson. Ain't nobody talking about FAMU no more.
That's the same.
It's Southern and Jackson. Nobody's talking about FAMU. That's old news. That's last year.
It's just not the same to me.
The only thing we talking about with FAMU tonight is what the hell the new coaching staff gonna look like if they get one. That's all we talking about.
I'm talking about reigning national champion.
You can talk about them all night.
You ain't been there.
Enjoy yourself.
You ain't been there.
Eliminate. The used to be. The has been.
You ain't been there.
How you go from reigning national champion to where you want to fire everybody? Make that make sense to me.
But you ain't been there. How you go from winning? How you going to go in the SWAC championship and then fire your coach?
He came back the next year and didn't win no goddamn game.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, he came back the next year. He did not win games.
So what we talking about? Is that not the same?
It was a smart move, and now look where we at.
Is that not the same?
We in the championship
again.
All I know is what's not the same is we in the championship and FAMU not. That's what's not the same.
Your coach took you to a SWAC championship. Next year he getting fired. Is that not the same?
What's not the same is FAMU not here to defend the championship. That's not the same. What's not the same is where's FAMU? FAMU?
I'm just asking, is that not the same?
FAMU?
I'm just asking, is that not the same?
Rattlers?
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Hey, Rattlers.
I'm just saying we're going to be the same.
Hey, Rattlers.
We'll see on December 9th where y'all
garden snakes now. They not even rattlers no more. They little bitty garden snakes.
We'll see if y'all become house cats on December 7th.
Hey, I'd rather be there than to be sitting at home watching the house cat.
Hey, listen, however you decided.
That's right.
However you decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what matters.
Just be another loss like you've done always with Alcorn, Jackson now. Just be another loss on the SWAC championship. That's all. Just be another one. We 1-1.
What the Rattlers in?
We 1-1.
Who?
We 1-1.
Huh?
We 1-1.
Say what now?
I'm just asking.
What?
I'm just asking.
What? I don't hear nothing rattling.
We'll see.
I don't hear nothing rattling, Scotty.
We'll see if we hear this. I'll make sure I got this queued up for you on December 9th.
I don't hear no.
I'll make sure I queue it up for you. If you come with a championship.
Come on with it, Scotty.
I'll make sure
it's run it back, because right now we can play that.
No, when you win a
championship.
When you win a championship.
Can you run that run it back for me?
When you win a championship.
Okay.
When you win a championship.
Right.
When you finally,
I know what we won't be hearing.
When you finally step across that line.
We won't be hearing no more of that FAMU shit no more this year.
Okay.
Maybe basketball season or something.
You okay?
Yeah. FAMU, huh?
They
not elite. FAMU not elite.
Neither is your team.
They not elite.
Neither is your team. Neither is yours. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me, neither is Southern. Neither is Southern. Far from it. Far from it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what elite look like on.
I heard that.
We'll see what elite looks like on December 7th. We'll see what that look like. All right, let's get to a little hot and viral. Let's see. Listen, it's 2 rules in Fight Club. There's actually a lot of rules in Fight Club. Rule number 1 in Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2 in Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. Listen, 2 big fights: MEAC side, HBCU side. MEAC, Howard versus NCCU had a blow up. Jack State versus Alabama State, they had a blow up. MEAC, the MEAC office suspended 19 players from Howard, 17 from NCCU, and 1 NCCU assistant. The SWAC announces as well 16 student athletes, 7 from Jackson, 9 from Alabama State. Listen, I know a lot of people have commented on this, but I'll say this. If this might be controversial. If your football is not getting you the recognition, I don't mind it being fights. I just listen. I'm a big component of all publicity is good publicity. However you want to take it is however you want to take it. But I think this is part of the game. Like, it happens. Like when you're in hostile environments, when you're in rival games. Howard and NCCU is a rival game. Alabama State, Jack State is a rival game where they don't like each other. There is some hostility. These things happen. All right. It's just part of the game. Now, this would have been crazier if the game was on the line next week. Like if NCCU had to play a game next week and they lost 16 or 17 players, right? If Jackson had to play for their SWAC championship hopes next week against Alcorn and they lost 7 players, that becomes a problem, and that's not a smart decision. But as we all know, everything's locked up. So, I mean, it happens. But Perry, what's your opinion?
Man, I'm sick of this stuff, man. Look, we had this conversation, and I went off about this when the whole situation happened with FAMU and Prairie View. And then I actually saw another, we was talking about it. You was talking about that one angle that they had. I actually saw another camera view of somebody sitting right next to the band when that thing blew up. What the hell is going on with all of this fighting? First of all, coaches, get your team together. Get some discipline in your program. You clearly can tell when something is hostile and heated after a hell of a game. And I said it last week. Then I said about Howard and North Carolina Central. I said it was going to be one of those you ain't SWAC moments between them when you look at just the past 2 seasons of both these programs. And then with Bama State and Jackson State, come on, man. Come on, man. For 2 years, you have seen this fuel constantly being added to the fire. Now, what shocked me was the Prairie View and FAMU, but clearly after last year, you had to say there's some animosity because FAMU felt like, why are we losing to Prairie View? So for the past 3 weeks, for the past 3 games over the past 2 weeks, we have seen continuous brawls within this conference. I am not happy about this at all. And I know most people say, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because what the hell are we doing as institutions? It looks bad on us because you already know what people are going to do. These videos are going to go viral. You're going to get these student athletes suspended. Take your ass to the locker room, coaches shake hands, and move the hell on. Everybody can see at midfield what's about to happen, and you're just going to sit there until it does happen. I have an issue with this. And I have a huge problem with it, Scotty. This is a bad look continuously week in and week out that we're constantly having in this conference and black college football because it happened in the MEAC as well. I'm not a fan of it at all.
Okay, there's two parts to this. The FAMU and Prairie View one, I'm not counting that as a brawl because it was a parent in the band. And it was parents.
Wrong.
Hold on. There was parents in the band. A player from FAMU went in the stands to separate the parent from the band. Now, if the band and the parents are fighting, that you talk to the band director. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's the institution, band director, whatever you want to talk about with that. Talk to the parent or whatever. But that wasn't a player brawl like Southern and Prairie View was in the pregame a couple years ago with Dooley down in Prairie View. That was a full out player brawl. Right now, this is the thing for me. The Jackson State and Alabama State was brewing on the kneel down. And there's sometimes in the kneel down for the game, that's where most brawls start in the victory formation, right? Because a player shoots off the line really hard and hits somebody, or they try to get to the quarterback and they push him down or whatever to get. That's where things happen. And a lot of times you can't stop that if it happens in the field of play. Now, I do agree with the teams, like the teams on the bench side, going into their respective locker rooms or whatever. That might be the new policy going forward in the SWAC overall. But again, the kneel down in the field of play is 9 times out of 10 where those incidents start. And then it kind of boils over to the handshake. Why? Because we're still chirping. And then, bam, it leads to the brawls that you've seen. So,
well, I'm going to say this because I saw another angle of that Prairie View and FAMU, and that was the reason why suspensions were given out. So I'm not going to just let that go like it just happened in the stands and it was parents. Players also got into altercations on the field. So the whole thing is it just ain't singling out FAMU and Prairie View, but they did it. I'm not just singling out Jackson State and Bama State, but they did it. I'm not just going to talk about North Carolina Central and Howard, but they did it. All of this is happening week in and week out, and it's starting to become a norm of what we see of hostile environments where coaches already know by the way that the game is and the history between the programs that at some point, let's stop this before it gets started. I look at coaches before I look at anybody. I don't give a damn what a fan did in the stands. I don't give a damn about what a band did in the stands. I give a damn about what a head coach did because at the end of the day, he has the final say-so over his own program. And like you just said, you know when something is boiling over before you get out there talking about shaking hands. I deal with this even on the high school level when we dealing with teams. When we dealing with teams, and you can tell as the game is going on, because as an official, I'm right there with all the jaw jacking. I'm the one breaking them up. I'm breaking up fights before they get started, pushing guys to their sidelines, telling them to break. So I understand how this works on the field, and it just don't come as a surprise at the end of the game. Like, oh my God, what happened? How did we get here? Everybody saw this brewing. That's why at the end of the game, officials run their ass off the field because they don't want to be responsible for it. And that's why you have security that you pay for in terms of sheriffs, police officers, event staff, and whoever else that's supposed to be able to keep the peace. When both teams stand there at that 50-yard line or midfield looking at each other, you see it ready to brew because all you're doing is getting this from both sides. And eventually, somebody gonna jump because it's football. It happens, and you're dealing with young football players in which some of those guys are immature. You're going to have some bad spots within your program, but it comes back to coaches of these programs. Get those guys the hell off the field and clear this mess before it even happens, because what happens, it hurts your program where you have to suspend guys. Now, when you look at this, there are going to be some guys that may play their last game next week when you look at North Carolina Central and Howard. You had that same issue from FAMU and Prairie View, in which it cost FAMU this past weekend in an embarrassing loss to Mississippi Valley. Regardless if you think a guy was good or not, it has a trickle-down effect on top of the fines. Last I looked, it said Bama State and Jackson State were both fined $25,000 apiece. We're low-resource institutions, right? What money do we have to give for free? We're in the business of making money. not spending money. So that's just, I'm not making an excuse for nothing. You knew this was getting to that point, and it got to that point, and then everybody want to act innocent. Nobody's innocent. At the end of the day, I hold coaches responsible for their football programs, because the coach knows before anybody else what's going to happen before it happens, because the coach feel it himself as he looks back looking at his team, because win or lose, as he's walking out to shake the other coach hand, he already know the vibe and where it's going, because he reading the temperature of the room. And then when you're going to just let two teams sit there stacked on each other, pull them apart and get up out of there. Because it ain't nothing but a recipe for something bad. And then when you got cameras, you got social media, it's a bad look on our institutions, and that's the last thing that we need.
Again, I don't have a problem with it. It happens. It's football. I've seen it enough times. I've seen enough brawls, sidelines. I've seen it. To me, it's like just putting new policies in place to deter it, right? Like certain things in the process of football, it comes with it. Like, do you see it every game? No, but does it happen? Absolutely, right? So I just think that in this sense, for the SWAC, is just to be preventive. Going forward, let's be more preventative to make sure that these occurrences happen less and less, and that when it does occur, they're not back-to-back weekends or back-to-back games. It's more off one-offs here, one-offs there, or things that happen like that. But to me, for this game, I say for the Jackson-Alabama State game, it started from the kneel down. The kneel down on, it just brewed. And you saw it get live after the kneel down. You saw the taunting from both sides, the chirping from both sides, and then from there it escalated. So for me, it's tough. It's tough. I feel for the players that are suspended, like you said, who are seniors in their last game or whatever. I think those are, but again, life comes with choices, and it also comes with consequences, right? So when you decide to do something like that, you get the consequence on the other side. But once again, it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying?
And for the police, mace they ass. Break it up before it even mace. Clear it out. Pepper spray, whatever.
Yikes.
What? Because of what I'm saying?
Mace the players?
Hell yeah. That's more than just a fight. That can turn out into an all-out. You talking about damn near 100 guys on both sides. What you gonna do? Who can break that up once they get rolling? Nobody can break that.
That makes it even worse. Like,
well, yeah, I will make it worse, because
I think it makes it more of a spectacle. Like when you start macing Bamas,
when you mace niggas, they bag up out of there. That clears them out. Coaches, players, everybody hit it. Don't know who gonna keep going through some mace. That's all I'm saying. Once it get out of control, Scotty, it's like a wildfire. It may start in one little spot,
and then
before you know it
starts to pop it up.
The whole California on fire. And we trying to figure out how to put these fires out. Put it out before it even gets started. So, yeah, if you got to mace them, if you got to pepper spray it, that's your job to have order. Get some order up in there. I don't like this stuff, man. I know it's football and it's play, but I always tell players, play the game. Do all that talking. We can do that outside the stadium. But as long as you got that school brand on your shirt, on your jersey, you representing this institution. Do not put that institution in bad light, because now you're making it about you. I thought it was about the school. We talk all this HBCU. Long as you got this on your shirt, on your jersey, hey, handle yourself and act accordingly. We can do this outside.
New policy by John T. Grant that's coming down, probably effective immediately. Celebration Bowl Executive Director John T. Grant told HBCU Game Day, Fox News, that the game is initiating a new post-game rule. The loser of the Celebration Bowl will be forced to head to the locker room, and the opposing coaches will get the chance to shake hands while the winners get to celebrate on the field at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want a fight to break out in your national championship game. That's just a bad look overall, for real. So I get it. I mean, you would hope that you could, that players could be out there and shake hands, but can't take the chance. And we used to say in the military, they do, like in the military, they believe in mass punishment. Like if one person does something, like it's a mass punishment, how one thing affects the whole, or one apple affects the bunch. That's pretty much what this rule is. You've had your one-offs in the season, and now it's affected the Celebration Bowl going forward.
And thank God our fans don't rush the field, because I can only imagine if we rush the field on our level, what can take off even more. You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going?
No, I definitely understand. That oh my gosh. Woo. Yeah, that because this is the thing, because you have to, and it's funny you brought that up, because you have to give credit to a lot of PWI players who have the resilience to go through the crowd and not. I mean, you see the push it and the bump, but it doesn't. A lot of stuff doesn't pop off as you would think. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. If blacks did that,
y'all think I say nigga? How much niggas you think you gonna hear them yelling at the opposing team who lost? And I've been on the field when fans rush the field. I was at the LSU Alabama game when LSU beat Bryce Young in Alabama, and everybody crowded the field, and I was right on the sideline with Alabama. They went straight to the locker room, and they went through all of the fans. The fans just ran by. They were so happy in the moment. It wasn't about talking noise.
it was just enjoying the festivities.
Yeah. And I'm right there in it, and I'm watching all of this transpire, But it's always a nervous feeling because it just takes one person.
Yeah.
And when that one person, how you going to break all of that up? So that's another issue when you look at college football, but thank God it has not turned it into anything that's, bad, where it's just a poor spotlight on fans enjoying themselves. But at the end of the day, man, get to that locker room, man. That's all you need to do. Don't go meet up at the 50 or half at the middle of the field and everybody looking at each other. And this is all you hear. It just take one dude who's sick of it, who frustrated, who pissed, who mad. He pushed somebody, then what?
Yeah.
Take a helmet off, you slinging and you're punching. And here you go, just got dudes on the ground. And y'all fighting in pads, man. Come on, with helmets on. Why are you punching a dude with a helmet on?
I never understood that.
I never understood
that.
A couple years ago, I had to eject the guy out of a game because he took his helmet off and swung it and hit another kid in the head with his helmet. These are weapons now. I can press charges on you. That's assault. So we just need to figure this out, coaches. Just all I'm saying is, as disciplinarians and have a discipline within your programs are a direct reflection of you. And if you do not have control of your program and have that discipline, because we're teaching these guys to be men, not thugs. Let's not go out here and do thuggy shit, because that's all it takes for it to get on the internet, and it's going to run like rapid fire, like, look at these thugs. You know why? Because they black. We don't give them fuel to add to the fire. We hold our programs down, and we teach our players what it's like in life. You're going to be defeated. You're going to take L's. You're going to cry and want to fight out there every L, or you're going to go out there and shake their hand and say, man, you whooped my ass, good game, let's get on to the locker room. That's how you got to teach.
You whooped my ass.
Hey, take that L, like what they say, take that. Shake that hand, take that L, and move on. You had a whole 4 quarters to prove yourself with the pads on. You ain't in a boxing match. It ain't time to prove that now, unless we need to get HBCU boxing as a part of athletics. Because clearly we got plenty of guys wanting to box. So maybe we need to have boxing a part of our profile as athletics. But other than that, you shake your hand, we build up men. Men, not thugs, not none of this behavior that we've been seeing, because this can be stopped. We are allowing it. And I like what John Grant did at the Celebration Bowl. Take your ass to the locker room if you lost. We ain't got time for your hurt feelings.
That's fair. All right, after week 12, Perry got me, man. That Norfolk game, it's always Norfolk, man. God, dog, I swear.
Norfolk and Southern. See what happened last year? Norfolk and Southern was killing me. This year,
yeah.
It's just been them 2 games. Been the them 2 games add up.
Yeah, that's fair.
What happened here? 2 games, wasn't it?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I give you that. 105-34, 107-32. Gotta give it. You already know.
No, go back.
Boy.
Go back. That's a hell of a winning, boy. I need a raise at my school, boy. Look, boy, 107-32, boy. I'm going to Hall of Fame here soon. You too, Scotty. I gotta say, man, not a bad job, Scotty. Not a bad. I know when you blow, you don't give credit, but I'm gonna give you credit because you hanging in there with me.
I won last year. What are you talking about?
Barely.
Okay, you barely went in there. What we talking about?
And that was controversial because last year I wasn't keeping up with it. I was letting you do it. And there was some questions that went on last year. It was an election that it was some votes, was some votes that got left in the swamp last year.
Recounts.
It was some of them ballots in the swamp last year.
Hey,
so
listen,
I'm glad that we can get it back. But
absentee, I had some absentee ballots.
Listen, I'm like, hold on, did we do a count?
Here we go.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
Listen. Woo-wee. Call them the Bear Killers.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
Listen, this Jake was gruesome. God almighty. I'm like, good night, Irene. So listen, 54-7. The way, listen, and Morgan State's defense is no slouch. It's no slouch at all.
16-7 against North Carolina Central.
54. Listen, South Carolina State is just playing at a different level than everybody else. And it's not even fair. But what you got on it, P?
Do you have any feedback from me? Are you getting any echo on the feedback from me?
Yeah, but I'm gonna mute myself so while you go.
Okay, I'm making sure so when it's on me, I do the same. All right, what the hell happened? That's what everybody. What Chennis Berry doing over there?
He's the bear killer. The bear's dead. They're hunters. They're bear hunters.
God dog, Morgan State. I hate that. What happened to that damn Bears? What happened is them Bulldogs came and ate their ass up. Listen, 217 total yards of offense for for Morgan State, the Bears, and this one 139 in the air, 78 on the ground, 2 turnovers by way of interception. On the other side, listen, South Carolina State has been rolling this year, and this was just another victim of theirs, 54-7, 430 total yards of offense, 189 yards in the air. Scotty, 241 yards on the ground for the Bulldogs, man. They are getting it done. When you look at it, Tyler Smith, 3 carries for 118 yards and a touchdown. His longest was 86 yards. 3 carries for 118 yards. And then Eric Phoenix, listen, I think, dude, the best quarterback in black college football. I have grown to like who he is. We talked about him early in the year when he came over. Could he transition? He's done very well transitioning. 10 of 11 for 85 yards. That's all I got for you because there's nothing to talk about with Morgan State because guess what? This has been an ongoing thing with them. Where's your offense at Morgan State? That's all where's your offense? And it was exposed against South Carolina State. The better team, the better coach, the better players. Clearly, they punched their ticket to the Celebration Bowl. Shout out to Coach Chennis Berry in year one. Coach, in year one, Scotty, he got it done. He got over big, bad North Carolina Central and Trey Oliver. He whooped up on everybody else, including Morgan State, making everybody a believer. And right now, they are 8-2 and 4-0, and they are headed to the Celebration Bowl. And we ain't even got to Thanksgiving yet. So shout out to them, man. Huge congratulations to Chennis Berry, man. I think nothing more than a phenomenal job for what he's done with that program in year one, making everybody a believer. And I, for one, am a believer listening to him from preseason all the way to now, constantly preaching, going 1-0 each and every week and doing what he say. You're like the mailman. It doesn't matter rain, sleet, shine, or snow. We're going to pack our lunch. We're going to go to work. And when you look at how dominant this team has been this year and what they've been able to accomplish, nothing more than a hell of a job for Chennis Berry, man. And congratulations to the Bulldogs of South Carolina State punching their ticket to the Celebration Bowl. Job well done in year one, man. And I hope to see what this looks like if this can continue to be a dynasty on the MEAC side in black college football.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to what their quarterback play looks like. And I think Chennis Berry, listen, man, I think all the stars aligned for Chennis in this year. I said when he got hired, if he can't do nothing else, he can beat the Blacks. That's just, I mean, if you look at his resume, he going to beat the Blacks. That's just what he does. Now, I think where the stars aligned was Eric Phoenix was leaving Murray State at the same time Chennis Berry was going to South Carolina State. You couldn't ask for a better fit and a better time because a guy that you have won championships with at D2 is back on the market, and he's coming to your program to revitalize South Carolina State in a winning way. Man, it's you can You couldn't write a script that better. You couldn't write a script that easy.
And what I like about it, because Buddy Pugh was a legendary coach at South Carolina State, no doubt about it. South Carolina State built this legacy over the years over defense, right? There was not really much when you can go into offense, but it was the defensive side of the ball. And we all saw that by the amount of guys that they continue to send to the league. But then you bring Chennis Berry in and he adds offense to defense. You get these type of results, 54-7. You get the results that you continue to see all year. This is what the Bulldogs have been missing, and this is why administration decided to go with Coach Chennis Berry, bringing some offense to an already defensively sound team, and it has been a recipe for success. And that's why when you look at the scores this year, there have been blowouts. It's been ass kickings.
Just straight outrageous numbers, man. Just outrageous. So, listen, it's them and everybody else. I think the thing you have to talk about, and Chennis Berry, once again, I told you he's a great motivator. If my son was coming into college, I would want him to play for Chennis Berry. He's just a great motivator of men. He's a great, like, if you listen to Chennis Berry speak, I'm telling you, you want to run through a wall. That's just how good he is as a motivator. My thing is, do those 3 weeks of rest, 2 or 3 weeks of rest, does it come back to bite South Carolina State because they're just on such a roll? And it's just a lot of preparation. I mean, you're just 3 weeks of just straight preparation. But if anybody can keep them locked in, if anybody can keep them tapped in and ready and on that mindset of killing a gnat with a sledgehammer, it's Chennis Berry. So we'll see how it goes.
And that is brutal, Scotty. Killing a gnat with a sledgehammer. That is the utmost in brutality that you can get, bro. That is, oh my God. That's like flying a plane into a roach just to kill it. God, dog.
As long as it's dead. As long as it's dead. That's pretty much how it gets down. All right, next up.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah.
What happened to that boy? What happened?
All's fair in love and war. Listen, how I know Mike don't really rep his team that often, but fee, fi, fo, thumb, you're looking down the barrel of the devil's gun. FAMU had got the streak was broken at Bragg. Valley comes in and pulls off a shocker. What you got on this one, P?
You know, speaking back on there, talking about Mike, when Jackson and Valley played last week, he had no love to Valley, did he? You would have swore he went to Jackson State and watching that episode. I was a little disappointed in Mike in that one. I mean, considering how close Valley played in that one, it shows some resilience about that program. And he was like, hey, Tigers all day. And I said, damn, Mike, like, that's how you going to do your people? Like, at least you could have gave an equal balance of love, but who gave this damn little ugly baby devil a gun? You did this?
I just found it on Google.
Well, that's crazy.
Type in devil with gun, and that's what you get.
I hate it's pointed at James Cozy in front of Jesus, but it's the devil, so I guess it does not matter. How about Mississippi Valley, ladies and gentlemen? Going in and breaking the 23-game winning streak by Florida A&M at home in Bragg Memorial Stadium, where it has been tough for teams to win. And then how about Valley on the other end? Did they break a 15-game losing streak coming into this game as they walked out there with their first win on the season, going 1-10, 1-6, and FAMU now falling 2 consecutive weeks, 5-5, 3-3. Just 3 weeks ago, we were talking about FAMU possibly still in the hunt of the SWAC East, and just that quick of a snap of a finger, ladies and gentlemen, it is over as the Delta Devils did something that we didn't think we were going to see. I think if anybody would have put money on this, you are a rich man and rich woman, rich whatever you identify with. But, hey, listen. Mississippi Valley, 341 total yards in this game, 251 in the air, 90 yards on the ground, Scotty, and they did not turn the ball over. But on the other side for the Rattlers, they outgained them, 431 total yards, 259 in the air, 172 on the ground, 3 fumbles in this ball game for Florida A&M. Then you look at T.J. Williams, Ty Williams, 19 of 28. How about 251 total yards passing and 2 touchdowns? Valley has had an issue passing the ball this year, and they were able to get the ball in the air. And then you look at Nathan Rampart, 7 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown with the longest of 60 yards in this. Jackson Davis right there behind him with 4 receptions for 41 yards. And then Williams also, as he threw for 251, he also had 11 carries, Scotty, for 31 yards. And then Caden Betts, 6 carries for 30 yards. But then on the other side, Daniel Richardson, who I think many of us thought was the best quarterback in this conference, he didn't have much of a shabby day. 18 of 24 for 259 yards passing and a touchdown, and then gassed it with 3 receptions for 83 yards. But you look at the Delta Devils, they got a lead early on going into halftime, and then it was 20. They had 24 points going to halftime. They didn't score anything in the second half, but FAMU puts up 11 points in the second half, and it wasn't enough. 24-10 at halftime. Valley went up, but FAMU just could not get enough in the second half as their defense stopped Valley, but the offense just could not get over the hump. And Mississippi Valley does the unthinkable, goes into Bragg Memorial Stadium, breaks the 23-game win streak, which was one of the longest, if not the longest, in football at Bragg Memorial, and then break their own losing streak of 15, and they walk away. And I saw them give Coach Kendrick Wade the Gatorade water bath at the end of the game. He goes and shakes Coach Cozy's hand, and then he had a post-game interview said, man, this is one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable game he will have being at Valley, both a player as well as a coach, because everybody counted him out. And this is, as Scotty said, the reigning Black College national champions, and they fall to Mississippi Valley, and it is over with them with any type of repeat championship hopes, any SWAC East Division title hopes. All of that is gone out of the window, and Valley will be able to hold this over FAMU's head for the next year.
That is putting $50 on. God, I need to get into betting. I mean, I could lose $50 with the possibility of winning $4,000. Good night, Irene. Listen, if you didn't watch the game, it was a tough one to watch because you saw the, how do you say? You saw the opportunities. You saw the opportunities. You saw the holes, the gaps, but it seemed like they just couldn't kick the door down. Like, it would be a great play call on one instance, and then they will go away from it. And then it'll be another good call, and they'll go away from it. And then when you went away from it, something would happen, a fumble or a false start or holding. It was just, it felt like they were just snake bitten in this game. And FAMU had been so used to playing with their food for most of the season of just like hanging around. And then they will pray for Daniel Richardson to pull them back in the game, but it just couldn't happen. It just didn't happen, and they lost. I think for Cozy, it's you gotta take a look in the mirror. It's very simple. You gotta take a look in the mirror and deal with your coaching staff effectively and see what that year 2 looks like. What's up?
Before we go forward, I know we had the banter to start the show of all the FAMU back and forth with Southern between you and I, but I know FAMU was your team. Let's take a step back, right? Because this is falling all the way. When you find yourself losing to Valley at home with one of the longest winning streaks at home in the nation, you got to really take a step, Scotty, and evaluate your program, because this is another level of falling, right? Right. Last week, we thought that was just an anomaly on the road at Prairie View. Hey, maybe just it wasn't their day, right? But then you come back and now you're on a 2-game losing streak, and you lose to a team on a 15-game losing streak to break your 23-game home win streak. You have to evaluate your program. And I'm going to ask you, you're the FAMU fan right now. And speaking for FAMU, if you can, what does this look like moving forward, watching this program implode at the end of the season when everything was still right there in front of them with this coaching staff and team who looked like they was probably poised for in a position to defend that Black College National Championship?
If I'm being honest,
please give me your honest opinion.
Taking a step back, to me, the season was over after Jackson. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, everything was in front of you, but you saw the deficiencies and you didn't see. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the Cowboys game at the same time, but you could just see the flaws, and the issue is, this is the thing for me. In the SWAC, you don't have to be perfect. Like, you don't have to be perfect in the SWAC. You just got to be competent. Like half of winning in the SWAC is talent and competency.
Can I
And
ask something? What did you see this year that you feel like they got away from a Willie Simmons coach team? I think that would be the better question.
play calling, just play calling. Like it's not. I'm not asking you to call the same plays as Willie. That's not possible, right? What I'm asking is there's no flow to the game. There's no flow to how you're calling the game. And if you watch FAMU's games, the thing that would the thing that would spin your head into a loop, you'll say, okay, let me get this straight. Daniel Richardson is in a flow. Daniel Richardson is diamond Bama's up. But then you call 2 run plays back to back, or you go a whole drive where you go run first, and pass on third when everybody knows you're in a passing down situation. It was things like that. If you're a football fan and you watch FAMU, it would make your head spin of how are we here? How did we get here? Right? So, good example. Jackson is a one-dimensional team. Southern is a one-dimensional team. But they said, hey, this is what we do, and we gonna do what we do. It just is what it is. We gonna do what we do. And for FAMU, they never got there. They should have, after the South Carolina State game, literally after the South Carolina State game, you should know, hey, listen, we living and dying with Daniel. We're living and dying with Daniel Richardson. And you have to lean into that. And you have to, just like Southern leans into their run game, right? UAPB, what did they lean into? Mekhi Hagens. Hey, listen, we going to live and die off Mekhi Hagens' arm, right? FAMU at no point in the season, you can say whatever you want. You could talk about the homecoming game and they go 5 wide and you could talk about all that. They never accepted the fact of this team was Daniel Richardson or bust, and they went with Joe Henry, who just threw stuff at the wall and see if it stuck. And it was frustrating to watch. You're watching. I'm seeing teams win games, quarterbacks going 6 of 12, and they ran the ball 30 times. That lets me know that you're like, hey, we know what we're not. And we're not going to do that. In a lot of games, Daniel Richardson should have had 30 to 40 attempts. It might sound crazy, but that's the style of offense FAMU should have been in. A lot of 4 or 5 wide situations where Daniel could just read the field and do what they do, but you never saw that, and you never saw FAMU accept that as who they were, right? Like, perfect example, Colorado and Shador. That first year, like, it was like, bro, is Shador a bust? And that's how FAMU should have went down. FAMU should have went down with Daniel Richardson. Just, if you're going to go down with the ship, go down with Daniel Richardson. Not on Joe Henry, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't have no, I was listening to you. My next question is, how bad is this for your program? And no knock on Valley, but this was a team that came in with a 15-game losing streak, winless. How bad is this for the program having to take this loss at home, everybody looking at it, and 2 straight losses back to back? Where does this program lie now? Because this is not elite football where they are at right now. And you got to think, what's the issue? Are players checking out? Or is it just not clicking with the coaches? What's happening within the program for them to have fallen right here? Because if they lose to Bethune-Cookman, my God, I mean, the house is on fire.
I look at it like this, and I'm going to give perspective. Kennesaw State beat Liberty when they were undefeated. Like, it happens, right? Like, situations like this happen. You don't want it to happen. You don't think it should happen, but it happens, right? The issue is how do you get your team up for the next game? And how do you fin? And this is, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go back to go forward. I keep telling people Willie Simmons is a different minded coach, because you got to think about it. For 2 years, he had to keep his team locked and loaded for 9 other games after the OBC. after he would lose the first game of the season, and you're kind of like, SWAC championship is kind of out of reach. You know, we gotta get 2 losses from Jackson. They ain't lost. To have your team locked and loaded for the whole season and they run the table is not easy. And I don't think enough people get kudos to that, because you see with Cozy, he loses to Jackson, and it looked like, you know how a little kid trying to ride a bike, like it just looked like he could never find his balance. Just the whole time, it's just like you just wait for him to fall. That's really what it looked like after Jackson. You just like it's just wobbling, like you just like, yeah, he about to fall. Yeah, he ain't gonna make that corner. And
so what gave you so much? Okay, after that, what gave? This is a question to you. What was the confidence that you had that continued to be poured into this team? What did you see after that game that made you still feel like they were the best team in the SWAC East?
I said they were you can't ignore the talent. You just can't ignore it. Like it's like. It's like if you're a chef, right? If you're a person you're paying for a private chef, the food isn't bad. Like I spent $300 on this food: shrimp, caviar, pot roast, chuck roast, chicken. I got top of the notch ingredients. If the meal comes out bad, it ain't the ingredients. It's the chef cooking the meal. And it's okay. Perfect example. How I felt about Grambling. Every time I wanted to jump on the Grambling bandwagon, what did you keep telling me? What did you keep telling me?
Do you believe in Eric Dooley?
Okay.
I thought you was believing in Cozy, so that's why I never brought that up, because I thought the transition from Willie to Cozy, it looked like it was, I mean, FAMU, we already saw it most of the year. It just seemed like they never was, but that's FAMU, because under Willie Simmons, when you kept saying Willie gon' Willie, that was success, because I thought FAMU was the best finesse team I had seen in a long time. They was just finessing their way out of things. It wasn't pretty all the time, but they just found a way, using those athletes that you're talking about, to get those victories against teams in this conference. It does not seem like that finesse lives there anymore with Coach Cozy. And I'm only asking because after that Jackson game, you know, you went back and forth with myself and others saying that you still felt like FAMU.
They were the best team on the field. They were.
But I'm saying, in that confidence that you say they the best team. So what is it about Cozy and this staff when you look at them, because they still were the best team in your opinion, that now they have lost 2 consecutive games to Prairie View and to Valley?
The Prairie View game, I don't care. The Prairie View game, I don't care, because Jay Richardson went down. The Valley game is worse because you had all your starters. There's no reason to lose this game with all your starters, right? So the Prairie View game, I'm like, all right, once Jay Richardson went down, I turned the game off. I said, this game's over, right? Because when you
still think you can out-talent Valley regardless of who's suspended.
Not when you have bad play. Like, you can't have a bad quarterback and bad play calling and expect to win a game. Logically, it just doesn't make any sense, because one is going to default on the other, right? Like, a good example, Daniel Richardson and Joe Henry. Joe Henry, he's very iffy on play calling, but Daniel Richardson's a playmaker. So even if you got an iffy, no different than Eric Dooley with Devontae Kincaid. When you sit back and look back at Devontae Kincaid and you're like, was it Dooley or was it Devontae? You get what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to when you talk about FAMU, Daniel Richardson, and Joe Henry. A lot of the situation was like, is it Joe or is it Daniel? And a lot of it was just Daniel making plays, and you're like, yeah, it's Daniel. So when you take Daniel out the equation and you leave yourself with just Joe Henry, it's like leaving yourself with Eric Dooley. You're like, it doesn't matter. It don't matter what I give you. It doesn't matter what I give you. You're not going to make me a meal that I can consume or edit or eat or be edible, right? So it's frustrating when you see like over time, Joe never got better. And when I used to say Willie going Willie was simply because of Willie's going to call a play where you're like, why would you do that play at that time? That's Joe Henry most of the game. right? Like it will be like a 3rd and 1, and you're like, oh yeah, they got it running here, and Willie throw a fade route, and you be like, why, Willie? Why? It's 30 seconds left. You're up in the game, but you're not running the ball. You're throwing the ball. Like that's Willie going Willie, right? He gonna do what he wants to do. With Joe Henry, it's like you're trying to mess this up. You're trying to mess this up. So that's just my little 2 cents on it.
I just think this is horrible. This is bad for FAMU. I remember in 2012, right? Coach Odoms, when he was at Southern, he took over the interim year. Southern lost on a Thursday night on national television on ESPN to who? Mississippi Valley. The score was 6-0. Can you believe that? 6-0. They got Coach Stump Mitchell ass fired. Now, with this happening right here with Coach Cozy, if I'm FAMU, and I know they're having issues with administration, I know there's a lot more going on than just football right now. I know they hired that new AD and everything else, but I have to really look at this program right now. And what I got to say is, where do we go from here? Because this kind of seems like, and then this is questionable moving forward. You still got Bethune-Cookman and Alabama A&M. A month ago, I thought those were for sure wins. A month ago, I thought we'd be talking about FAMU and Jackson State still battling for a SWAC East Division title. It's shaky now to say FAMU versus Bethune-Cookman and Alabama A&M, and I never thought I would say that, but you lose the Valley. But for you, this coaching style, what do you think? What changes need to occur? Because clearly they're not going to fire James Cozy, right?
No.
All of what they did to go through in order to pick him for this job had the emergency board meetings, because let's not forget the process that went into this. But now he's the head guy. What do you do on the staff? Because I keep seeing people saying it's not the players, it's coaching. What do you do to make this better going into 2025?
Okay. So again, you're going to have to, this is the part where I compare this year. I compared Cozy's first year to TC's first year, and the only difference is TC didn't lose to teams he wasn't supposed to lose to. Now, he had some close games, but he didn't lose them, right? Like the Texas Southern game was close with Jace and all that type of stuff, but he didn't lose them. And you're seeing what he's doing in year 2. And the biggest thing was just him revamping his whole staff, right? He brought in guys and then got those guys out and made it comfortable for him. And now you see what they're doing. For Cozy, it's that you got to get guys that you got to go get guys that are going to make you look good. Like that's the name of the game. If you're not, he can't call defensive plays. He can't call offensive plays. So you have to surround yourself with people that are going to make you look good. And you have to shrink your ego because it all comes down to you managing the team. That's literally like Cozy has to understand to where you walk into a situation, you say, listen, we're like you got to go to Joe Henry. He didn't go to Joe Henry and say, listen, stop all the dumb shit. All right. We're running the ball effectively today. Run the damn ball. Right. Or, hey, listen, that shit ain't working. Stop running it. Throw that hoe. Right. Like that is what a head coach who doesn't call plays has to do. So for me, I don't think recruiting is going to drop off because it's FAMU, it's Florida. You're going to like I say it all the time. You can spin around and throw a rock and hit a kid with dreads that run a 4.3. That's not the issue. The issue is, can you put the talent on the field? And that was never Willie's issue. Willie was always going to play the most talented kids, no matter the headache, because at the end of the day, the name of the game is to win. And if you're not winning, nobody cares. Nobody cares about the other stuff. So to me, his year 2, coming into year 2, he's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat because of what you see TC Taylor do at Jackson. Because if I'm a FAMU grad, I'm like, that's fucking Jackson, Mississippi. Like, we're Tallahassee, Florida.
Remember in that board meeting, how they downed Valley and UAPB? One of the board members in that board meeting when they was talking about coaches saying, hey, we're not Valley and you remember that? I don't know if
they're not.
You remember?
Yeah, they're not.
And then for that, because, I mean, look at the money that you're investing in your program and look at the money that Valley's just trying to get into their program. And then you allow this to happen. The talent. What is Cozy's contract?
3 years, 250, 240, something like that. So, I mean, I'm gonna say this, and FAMU people, I said it when she did it. I didn't have a problem with Sean Gibbs. I just had a problem with the fit because you were trying to put a square piece in a round hole. And I said for OBG, all she had to do was hire Cozy, let him fuck it up, and then you could bring in anybody else you want. Like that's all you had to do was hire. There you go. She would be sitting back right now eating bonbons and be like, see, I told y'all, this is why I ain't want them. You know what I'm saying? Like literally right now, she had other issues, so she probably wasn't gonna make it. But the whole premise is this: you give the people what they want. And once it's like, and once you like, okay, like dads do it all the time. Hey, that oven's hot. Don't touch that. And then they touch you like I told you. I don't care. Oh, help me. Oh my, no, I told you, right? So that's where if I was OBG, that's the only part about this. I'd be like, I told y'all he wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But yeah, Cozy, listen, man. And I'm gonna say this. Cozy wasn't a lot of people's pick from the staff. Like the coaches that I spoke to, they were like, it's a lot of people that you could have hired, but Cozy shouldn't have been one of them. That's just what I heard from different coaches on staff. Because just who he was as a person. He doesn't garner respect by how he conducts himself, right? He's more of a mild-mannered, a lot of people like him because he's real approachable. You know what I'm saying? Like he's real approachable and real nice guy. But some coaches felt like he shouldn't have got the job. And at the end of the day, the guy that should have got the job don't look black. So, you know what I'm saying? That was his Achilles heel. He wasn't black. Because if Ryan Smitty was black, he would have been a head coach. That's crazy to me.
My oh my. Oh, how they have fallen. And this is falling. You lose the Valley.
No, I don't.
This is falling. You let a team on a 15-game losing streak come in and break your.
You act like that's never happened in college football.
Football is football. I get.
Yeah, upsets happen.
I get upsets happen, but I'm only going by what that board member said. Hey, we not Valley or UAPB for you to lose to Valley. I'm going by words. That's the words I heard. I was tuned in when you showed them board meetings. I listened to the Valley board members say that. I had UAPB people hit me up saying, why we got caught up in that?
Why we get
why was shots fired in that? We ain't got nothing to do with FAMU. How we you shot 5 shots at us.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at this because I just think regardless of suspension or not, you just supposed to be a team that can finesse if you don't do nothing else.
Yeah, no, I mean you're supposed to be able to you just walk on the field and win the game. Yes. But again, if I give you ingredients to cook, and I know I bought them I didn't go to the Piggly Wiggly. I got them shits from Albertsons. You know what I'm saying? Like I bought that from, I don't know which I got in Louisiana, but up here is like Market District. Like that's like the, Whole Foods. I got them from Whole Foods. Everybody know what Whole Foods is. I got them from Whole Foods. And you can't make me a meal?
Question. Seriously. I know we're going to get to our picks, but what happens if they lose to Bethune-Cookman?
You got to talk about looking to get him fired. I'm so serious. Like you have, if you lose to Bethune-Cookman, you got to look at him getting fired. Because think about who you've just lost to. You lost to Prairie View, bad team. You lost to Valley, who's second to them? UAPB and the
Valley was number 1 on your jump off.
Dog, that means you about to lose to 2 jump offs. 2. You lose to 2 jump offs in a year. And if we're being honest, if we had an extended list of jump offs, Alabama A&M would be on them.
I got it. Fam, you the one got the jump off pregnant. They like, bruh. They the one got the jump off pregnant. you know, like, boy, who did that?
Who messed it up for everybody?
Man, who hit that thing and let it loose up in there? That FAMU.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all better wrap it up, FAMU, because if not, it's gonna be trouble.
Yeah.
Child support is paying Cozy out of his contract. You're gonna be stuck with something.
Yeah, if he lose the Bethune-Cookman, you got to talk about firing him. I'm so serious. I you know, you can say whatever you want, but yeah, he gone.
Boy, FAMU, boy, y'all out here getting jump off pregnant, boy. I can't believe this one. I never thought I'd see the day as FAMU getting the jump off pregnant. God, y'all, I thought you was the coolest dude in school, and look at you.
You got to fire
him. Tripping.
I'm so serious. I know people are gonna be like, Scotty, you always trying to fire somebody, but like I get it why you keep Cozy around for another year. I'm not tripping off that with the buyouts and all that type of stuff. But if you, I'm telling you, if that nigga lose the Bethune-Cookman, oh, you got to go. Like, but this could be the FAMU side of it, right? Well, we lost to Bethune-Cookman when we've been the better team, and Bethune-Cookman has lost to FAMU when they're the better team. So in a rivalry situation, they'll say, hey, that happens. But I'm sorry. I'd rather just cut the cord.
2 jump offs back to back, boy, you showing out. How you getting all the jump offs pregnant? Not one, but then you get another one too? Like, nah, boy, you tripping. You trying to cuff it?
I think you still, like, even if he loses, I would want him fired, but I think that you just got to live with it because it's just too much of a buyout. Like, you know, like Tom Herman got fired from FAU and he's 2 years into a 5-year deal. You give him, like, them white Bama's don't, they like, hey, man.
Southern don't play. Dooley got fired after a year and a half. A year and a half. He coached 1 season and came back, 6 games in? Gone.
And I wouldn't be mad at it if that's the route that FAMU plays it, right? To where, you know, he comes back, it doesn't look good, and you move on. Because what you cannot have for FAMU is you can't let the brand that Willie has built get tarnished by the Ninja Turtle. You just can't do that. You just can't do that, bro. You just can't do that. You can't. You just can't do that. You can't, because think about it. Your legacy is already stained because you lost the streak to Valley. So y'all, you know how much you got to do to come back from that? Again, it's like getting a jump off pregnant, right? Like, that's your baby mama. You can't
come back around all the partners who all hit that and now trying to hang out with us. Boy, we all looking at you side out like, boy,
you know how bad. Listen, if you get a jump off pregnant and she's now your official baby mama, sooner or later you're gonna split because you didn't want to be with her in the first place. You know how bad you gotta come up. You gotta come up so bad that you just like, who was that girl again? Who was your baby mama?
First of all, why you even hitting the jump off naked head? Like, what is you doing? What are you doing? You tripping, bro. Now you like her? Oh boy, what fam? You got I know it does not feel good to be in that seat. I know it don't. I was in that seat last year, fam. I know you ready to move on to another topic, and we don't want to hear it. Hey, but it's reality of the sports world, especially football, your biggest moneymaker. I have been there. It does not feel good. Fam, you going to hire a celebrity. Who? That's your world, Scotty. You know, you dive deep into them celebrities. But they going to hire Ocho Cinco?
No. Listen, they don't want who I'm going to suggest, so I don't even care. So I don't. Everybody say he crazy, so I don't.
Ed Reed? Oh, shit, boy. Ed Reed, you ought to be his agent, boy. I'm talking about you trying to get that boy a job anywhere you can. Grambling, Southern, Bethune, FAMU, Alabama A&M, boy.
It's a walking money maker. You can't keep calling yourself low resource institution and then don't want to hire money makers. Like, that don't make it. Is a walking money making machine. And let me say this, and this is why I keep stressing the Ed Reed. You keep hiring trash ass coaches and they lose anyway. Why? If Ed Reed comes to your campus and he lose, he's still gonna make you money. He's still gonna make you money.
Do you hit up Willie Simmons and say, "Hey, big head"?
Nah, he gone. Willie.
He checked out.
Listen, Willie was like, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, we had a thing. I didn't want to marry you. We was engaged for a while. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm on the bigger and better. He's not coming back, and he shouldn't. He should not have to come back. Like, he did what he was supposed to do as a head coach. Never had a losing season. Won you a national championship. Come on, like, what are we talking about? He did everything.
Willie said they was stressing him out, had him eating too much over there. Now he didn't got to do. Life is good.
They call him Willie Slimmons. That's what they say.
He working out now. He done got his thoughts clear.
Willie Slimmons. Willie Slimmons. I saw somebody put that on his Twitter. I busted out laughing. I said, I like that name, Willie Slimmons. I said, I like that. But yeah, man. So it is what it. He said, I'm back to my playing weight. He said, I'm back to my playing weight in college. So, you know, it's a done deal. But see, the thing about it is people can feel how they want to feel about Ed Reed. But at the end of the day, I don't give a. See, I'm sorry, man. And I know this was like, man, white people don't have to do it because they ain't got money problems. They don't have the same money problems. So I don't have to go hire a celebrity coach. That's why Colorado did what they did. They've been asked for so long. They was like, hey, man, let's just take a risk. Let's just go out and do it. Right? What is it going to hurt? The same thing. If Ed Reed went to FAMU, they get a field house the same damn year. I promise you, because Ed Reed's going to be like, hey, listen, we got to get a field house. So the money that you've been trying to get a field house, you bring in Ed Reed, he brings in donors, he brings in all the money, you get you a freaking field house that's going to last you longer than Ed Reed is coaching. It doesn't make any sense, but niggas, it's stupid. It's stupid, bro. I swear to God, it's a small mentality issue, because it's like, listen, I don't. First, okay. Most HBCUs do not care about athletics being the entry door to their institution. It is backwards. They care about academics. They care about the stature, the prestige, or whatever, right? So for me, it's like, if that's your mindset, bringing in an Ed Reed doesn't really do you any good, because you're always going to push the academics. Academics is not going to change. If you're a great academic institution, that's just what you are. The problem is, for me, is like, listen, you bring in Ed Reeds to infuse your budget with money you weren't getting before. I don't care what you're talking. And this goes to any institution. It's not just FAMU. It will be at Alabama A&M. It would they really don't need the money, but it would be A&M. It could be Valley. It could be UAPB. It could be any of those programs. Ed Reed is going to infuse your program with money that you have never had before and get you facilities that you never had before. And facilities are always going to outlast a coach. They just are. And I'm going to say this and I'm moving on. If FAMU could ever get a fucking field house, it would be game over. If they had Southern's field house, dog, it wouldn't be fair. It would not be fair. But listen, you want to keep how you listen, and there's nothing wrong with the Quinn Grays. I don't care about none of that. Get somebody in that's going to bring in money. Oh, it's just frustrating. If we had our money, if we got our checks, I'm like, then bring somebody that's going to get you some money for your athletic department. Duh. All right, let's move on. Week 12 game recaps. UAPB gets drugged by Southern 31-9. What you got, P?
I'm glad you got that off your chest. I'm your therapist. I just want to first let you get that off your chest tonight, Scotty. I hope you're feeling better behind it. Are you?
No, because it's just it don't make it don't it. Go ahead, P. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted you to get it off for tonight. All right. UAPB and Southern University SWAC Western Division was on the line in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All the Jaguars had to do was win this game, and they are SWAC Western Division champions. Of course, UAPB wanted to come in and play spoiler, led by their star quarterback, Mekhi Hagan. But guess what? UAPB did not get it done, and Southern found a way to hoist their trophies. The SWAC Western division champions. They improved to 6-1 in conference play, 7-4 overall. The Golden Lions, my mom's alma mater, falls to 2-5, 3-8. And for everybody that kept asking me all weekend, no, I did not see Mrs. Kelly ass because she don't travel. She didn't spend no money, so I didn't get a chance to show her none of the how we do it in the press box with our suites here in Southern. So I just want to let you know, I did not see her. People been asking me all over social media, did I see Miss Kelly? No, she didn't make it. She ain't what I thought. All right, 31-9. The Golden Lions lose this one. Southern puts up 418 total yards of offense, 202 passing, 216 on the ground, Scotty. And on the other side for the Golden Lions, 319 total yards, 224 in the air, only 95 yards rushing. They had 2 turnovers in this one, 2 fumbles, and one of those fumbles made Sports Center. If you have not seen it, my man, Willie Miles, listen, D tackle. When Coach Richardson, Pete Richardson and I get together, he called him Squatty Body. He's a short, wide dude, but guess what? He plugs that gap. And Willie Miles said, I'm determined to get this touchdown off a scoop and score. He picks up, and I've never seen anybody do a split while standing up, Scotty. And he did it and found a way into the end zone as he broke a tackle from UAPB's offensive lineman and sent the crowd into a frenzy as he put the cherry on top for the Jaguars to seal up its SWAC Western Division title, its first since 2022. Jalen Woods is the star of the day. The redshirt freshman from Georgia came into this game, third-string quarterback, going 14-22 for 202 yards passing. He had a touchdown and an ugly interception in the beginning of the game, but that's growing pains you get from a quarterback. Running back by committee, C.J. Russell, 12 carries, 66 yards. Kendrick Rhymes, 13 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And Kobe Dillon with 14 carries and 62 yards. How about Jalen Woods also getting it done with his feet? Had 4 carries for 23 yards. And one of those was continued to drive on a long third down. And then Mekhi Hagan came into this game 14-27, 216 yards passing, no touchdowns. B.J. Curry had a pretty solid day as he led UAPB in receiving and rushing, 17 carries, 85 yards on the rushing side. And then he had 1 reception for 85 yards. Javonte Gibson. Southern did a great job keeping him in check. Short routes. Never let him get past him. Never let him beat him deep. 10 receptions for 85 yards in this one. And the Jaguars able, after a 6-0 first half. Can you believe the Southern has not scored in the first quarter all season? Have not scored in the first quarter all season. UAPB kicked 2 field goals and was up 6-0 going into the second quarter. Then Southern goes on to score 24 points and holds UAPB to 3 points after that. And the Jaguars pull it off, host the SWAC Western Division champion in the air. Coach Terrence Graves in his first year has led the Jaguars to a SWAC Western Division. Shout out to them because it has not been pretty. 3 overtimes this year for Southern against Prairie View, Texas Southern, and against Bethune-Cookman last week, and 5 overtimes. But at the end of the day, they have used the depth. They have made adjustments. This offensive line was horrible at the beginning of the year. Got whooped up on by Jackson State. Got whooped up on against Nichols. Even the quarterback position, going with Noah Biden, then going to T-Set, and then even trying out Jalen Woods. What I like about this team, and what I think a lot of Jaguar fans like about Terrence Graves compared to Eric Dooley, he had no problem listening to make adjustments and being able to test out his quarterback room. And I think most of all, looking at this coaching staff, we all talked about, hey, this staff is old. You know, what is Fred McNair? What is Willie Tyler? It all comes together, and it has come around full circle. And remember, y'all, do y'all remember when I said this team was my surprise team of the SWAC? Surprise! SWAC Western Division champions. Prairie View, I know you would have loved it, but I invite you to the SWAC championship. Please wear your shirts. Please do. And everybody else, man, hell of a season by the Jaguars. Hats off. I've been there every step of the way, and I have been critical of this team publicly on here, on the radio waves in Baton Rouge, on social media and everywhere else. And one thing about this staff, I think they listened, they heard it, they made the adjustment. They said, you know what? We can't make the same mistakes that Coach Dooley did last year, being stubborn. They went to the depth chart. They made it work. They plugged guys in. And although it was not pretty, they got it done, and they headed to the SWAC championship.
That is it. Was this game on ESPN or Jaguar Network or what?
It was just on the Jaguar Sports Network.
That shit's ass. Don't even anybody. Don't wait. If you're not a Jaguar fan, do not waste your money. I promise you, it's the worst thing ever. Alcorn. Alcorn wins a close one, 26 Prairie View 13. The stats, I didn't watch this game, but this just looks ugly. I mean, like 5 of 11, 49 yards. Tavares Griffin, 12 carry. I'm like, how they score? But hey, a win is a win. A win is a win.
How they score? Yeah, Alcorn goes on the road, beats Prairie View. Prairie View. These are the two teams that everybody said was going to be battling for the SWAC West. This actually was supposed to be the game to determine the SWAC Western Division.
Yep.
It really was. And Alcorn was sitting behind, hoping Southern lost because Alcorn, unfortunately, lost to Southern in the Western Division. And that hurt them. And because Southern won, Alcorn was just sitting in the wings. And so, but for everybody in preseason, this was your SWAC Western Division championship game. And Alcorn got it done 26-13. Alcorn went up 13-0 in the first quarter and never looked back in this one as they went 248 total yards of offense, 64 yards passing total, 184 yards on the ground. On the other side for the Panthers, they struggled. 318 yards of total offense, 205 yards passing, 113 on the ground, 2 turnovers for both teams, 1 fumble, 1 interception for the Panthers, and 2 interceptions for Alcorn. In this game, you talked about it, Cameron Peters, 11 of 25 for 118 yards passing, and it just was not a good day. And the big thing about Prairie View, what has happened, was that receiver part of the suspension from last week?
Burns, I don't know.
Not Barnes, the other guy.
Shamar Savage?
Yeah, was he? Because I don't see him nowhere on here with a reception, nor, I don't know if he was one of the guys suspended, because what we've seen with these suspensions, we only get numbers of how many players per team was suspended, but we don't get exactly who was suspended. And I just could not find him anywhere in terms of reception. So to say he was not there, Barnes played. He had 6 receptions for 52 yards, but I just don't know where Shamar Savage was. He was very heavily needed in this ball game.
Yeah, well, I don't think they've been used. Somebody says he's been hurt.
Oh, okay.
But
I just wanted to know since I didn't see him.
They haven't been using him right anyway, if I'm being honest. So it didn't even matter to me.
In Prairie View, to be in this position, here I am again, for what you talked about early this season, making those shirts. I don't forget, because y'all called in on this show. You made bets with me. You talked to me like I was nothing. You thought I was crazy for saying Southern was the surprise team this year. And you guys were so confident talking about why not PV. Turn it around. Telling me the SWAC champions, telling me the championship was going to be there. Didn't they make a whole, we watched the video of Men in Black. Men in Black, hey, we got to go get the championship. Operation Championship. And then your ass go and lose to Alcorn at home. And now you're 3-4 in conference play, not even 500 on the season. Y'all gonna have to hold that one because that's y'all fault.
So word on the street is that the FAMU game kept Bubba in contention to keep his job, but the last 2 games are what came down to him actually them keeping him going further. So there's a possibility that he could be let go at the end of the season if he loses both of those games. Now,
what my guy that was doing all that betting with us? I ain't heard from that nigga since week 4, week 5. It was September. It's November. I ain't heard from him. Lionel was calling in, man. The season's still there. We gonna do this, and I got on. I didn't get on there, but
the script writers said we good.
Yeah, I was all in this chat yesterday. He was like, "Oh, there go Perry." Hey, here I am, man, because y'all did me dirty, bro. Now where y'all at, man? You can't do me dirty like that and then just disappear. I can't believe y'all did me dirty when I went there. So look, God don't like ugly, man. Y'all put yourselves in that position. Don't do that to y'allself no more, man.
Grambling loses up, man. That was a tough game. I don't know if anybody watched that on Thursday night. Didn't seem like anybody came out and watched it, but Alabama A&M pulls it out. Miles Crawley pretty much playing on one leg. Listen, man, it's very, before Perry goes into all the stats, let me just say this, because I wanted to do a post-game recap of it, but I was just like, nah. What's tough, and I want to be very clear, what you've seen from Miles Crawley this year is what it looks like when the OC and the quarterback do not understand each other. And I'm saying this. I won't go that deep. I won't say that. But I had a conversation with somebody, and I told them flat out, I said, it's not a good match. I told somebody on that team, I said, Dooley and Miles are not a good match together just because of the style of play. And what you saw, what you've seen over the season is what it looks like when you're trying to ask a fish to climb a tree and you're trying to ask a bird to swim underwater. It just doesn't work, and it makes the person look stupid, and it makes Miles look like he's just the worst thing since sliced bread, and that's not the case. He's good at what he does well, but when you're asking him to do things that he does not feel comfortable with, you're going to get him exposed over and over and over again, and that's what you saw in this game and all season. So, Miles, I feel for you. I'm sorry you had to go out like this for your senior year, but decisions. But go ahead.
Remember after that UL game, and you was like, I like what I see from this team. This team has talent. And what did I say? Do you believe in Coach Eric Dooley? It was each and every week. It just seemed like every time you was ready to buy into this, do you believe in Coach Eric Dooley? And what I think with this program, you can't help but see the frustration on Mickey Jones. He don't know who to blame. Eric Dooley, the refs. It's every fucking body. I mean, goddamn, I'm sick of everybody. I mean, I hate I even probably took this job because y'all stressing me the hell out up here in Grambling, Louisiana. He really don't know which way, who to throw the damn fist at, man, because he just sick of it all. And the frustration comes with the job. But unfortunately, it was even more frustrating if you saw the meme that is going around of him at the end of this game, just with that look on his face. Oh my God, just sick. Just sick. There's nothing he can say or do about it. He just was sick. Like, damn, another one? Again?
Yeah.
And they were up in this ball game and let Alabama A&M and Connell Manor come back.
No.
And how about Grambling going 3 of 13? Both these teams
hold on.
Go ahead.
They were up 17-3. And you telling me you couldn't score another point on Alabama A&M? They shut who? Alabama A&M shutting somebody out? That should be fireable offense alone.
You can get shut out when you got Dooley as your offensive coordinator. I'm here to tell you. Jackson State won't let me live that down. All right, it happens when Coach Dooley is on your staff. Is he still calling? Now, what's the story on it? Is he calling? Did they demote him? Like, who called the offensive plays in this game? That's what I want to know.
Look, that Bama be having a call sheet in his hand. So until I don't see a call sheet in that nigga hand, he calling plays. Because what you got a call sheet for if you ain't calling plays? He over there like this. And you know how Dooley be. Bent over the whole time. You know what I'm saying, man? That nigga's calling plays, man. Don't let them niggas lie to you. That Bama's calling plays. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just telling y'all I had to deal with it. Now, Grambling, you got to deal with it because it was hurt when we was getting shut out, fooling. Because when it's clicking, it's clicking. But when it ain't, oh, my God, it is just tough to deal with. And that's what it was, 22-17 after blowing that lead. Grambling, 3 of 13 on third downs in this ball game. That is tough. 263 total yards of offense, ladies and gentlemen. 169 in the air, only 94 yards on the ground for the Tigers, and they were penalized a lot. 15. I guess this one he talks about that bullshit with the refs. And I'm sure he was not happy with this 15 penalties for 100+ yards. And I'm speaking of Mickey Joseph. And on the other side, Alabama A&M 388 total yards of offense, 228 in the air, 160 on the ground. Grambling had 3 turnovers in this one, 2 interceptions and a fumble, and 1 turnover for Alabama A&M came by way of a fumble. You talked about Miles Crowley, 12 of 27, 169 yards, and a touchdown, 2 interceptions. On the other side, Cornelius Brown, 20 of 35 for 228 yards and a touchdown. Curious, what happened with Xavier Langford for him not to play in this game? Is he injured or they just went with Brown in this one?
I think they just went with Brown.
Donovan England at the running back position, once again for the second consecutive week, goes off. He went out for 5 touchdowns the week before as they put up 50-plus points on the road at Pine Bluff. This time, Donovan England, 25 carries for 123 yards in this ball game. Hargrove didn't do much on the rushing side for Grambling, 8 carries for 38 yards. And then Jalen Johnson, 1 reception for 67 yards. Keenan Hambrick for Alabama A&M on the receiving side, 8 receptions for 99 yards and a touchdown. It was just the magic of Alabama A&M and Connell Maynard finding a way to get it done as they held Grambling scoreless in the second half. A&M scores 13 in the third quarter and adds a field goal in the fourth quarter and sealed the deal to shock the Grambling Tigers in Huntsville, Alabama, as Connell Maynard found a way to win another game. And for the second consecutive week, they are winners. And that started to ask the question, is this saving Connell Maynard's job?
Listen, the only reason that Maynard will still have a job at the end of the season is they don't want to pay the buyout. That's it. I mean, he got another year on his contract. I mean, if you want to ride it out, have fun with it. Listen.
Honest conversation. Are these 2 wins saving his job? And then what happens if he beats FAMU? Does that say? But my thing is, you can rack up all of these victories, but what you're not doing, you're still not in contention. You're racking up victories, but where are you at in contention?
And you don't beat the teams that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't win the Magic City Classic with a nigga with a 5th string quarterback. I'm sorry. Like, why? Listen, do not let Perry gas that nigga up, okay? You lost the Magic City Classic to a 5th string quarterback.
I'm not trying to gas him up. I've been trying to get him his walking papers, man. But I'm just saying the honest conversation, because I know Alabama A&M fans, they fickle. When it was bad, they kept winking at me saying, help. But now that they done won 2 games in a row, it's like, hey, we won games. But I'm like, do you just want to win games randomly? Or do you want to compete for championships? And I don't know what Alabama A&M fans and athletics really wants out of their team. Like, this obviously feel good for them to win 2 back-to-back games, right? But does that feel better than competing for championships? Do you forget everything else? Like losing the Magic City Classic, not being in the hunt for the SWAC East?
Let me tell you this. If he would have won the Magic City Classic this year and he's staying for another year. Like, I wouldn't even have the question that he's finishing out his contract. You lose the Magic City Classic to a 5th string quarterback? No, I ain't got nothing for you. My question would be, it's one of those situations like when you're barely making rent and you're like, oh, I got this opportunity to get another job. Like, why not take it? Like, this job ain't paying you. You ain't balling over here, so why not take it? And that's where like A&M is just above the water. Like, I'm treading water, and you're never in the boat. You're never on land. You're never knocking on the door of a championship, right? Because I could live if he was the Dawson Odoms of the SWAC East. I wouldn't have no problems with it. Like, he couldn't get over the Jack State hump, or whoever's the top dog, he can't get over that top dog.
Alcorn, it wasn't Jackson. It was Alcorn.
No, I'm saying is like for him being in the East. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like if Jackson was Alcorn for them, that's what I mean. So I apologize, but if he like whoever the top dog was, he couldn't get over that top dog, I'd be like, hey man, it's hard to be in contention 8-9 wins a year. Like that's a feat. Like you gotta he's gonna kick the door down sooner or later, and I can live with that. I can't live with being 3rd and 4th.
And it's tough to watch like a James Colsey come in. Well, that's a different story. Excuse me. It's tough to watch Eddie Robinson Jr. come into the league and then seem everybody giving him more respect than you. It's tough to watch T.C. Taylor take over a program, struggled in year 1, got him just enough, but then in year 2, look, he's clinched the Eastern Division outright, and it did not take a COVID year. So it's tough to watch other coaches come into a league in which Connell Maynard has been in this league and watch them come in and do what you want him to do. And that's the question. My honest question to Alabama A&M fans is, What do you want out of your program? Are you content with just winning games randomly against whoever? Or do you really want to be in the conversation for a championship? Because I had this conversation with you last week. Remember when we was talking about what programs have went up and went down?
Progressed, yeah.
A&M has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I'm talking a decade. True, he did. And Valley beat Maynard. Remember that on national TV on the grass?
He did.
To be honest, Valley got more
big wins
because they beat Prairie View twice. They stopped Prairie View from going to a championship, and they beat Prairie View the year before a championship.
Yeah.
They beat Alabama A&M. They beat FAMU. Prairie View. I mean, Valley has more signature wins than Maynard. Name me a signature win by Maynard? It's quiet in this motherfucker, ain't it?
I haven't heard that in a minute. But that's facts. That's facts. I mean, you preaching.
I mean, look at Valley. Those are signature wins against Prairie View championship contending team. Oh, excuse me. He did stop Texas Southern, but Texas Southern blew that. I would give him that one. Can I give him that one, or do we let that slide? With Andrew Body? Was that Andrew Body, or was that getting hurt, or was that Alabama?
That was Andrew Body getting hurt. That was definitely Andrew Body getting hurt.
I give him that one. I'll take that back. And hey, if y'all want one, I don't even know if that was a signature win, but whatever the case, I'll give you that one. You stopped Texas Southern that same day, so. But okay, what else? What championship team or team that has played for a championship that they have beat in that same season since Maynard has been there?
Yeah, I'm blanking. Zero, zilch, nada. Grambling.
What year was Grambling? Grambling ain't played in a championship since 17.
Yeah, and that was a bad team too. When they beat the Grambling team with Quincy Casey beat that Grambling team. That Grambling team wasn't good.
Yeah, Grambling ain't been in the SWAC championship since 17. That's a minute ago. When we start marking off pre-COVID and post-COVID, you know where we at with it. So name me one. Even in that abbreviated spring year, who did they beat? I think they got to the
Jackson. They beat Jackson. They beat Jackson that year in the spring.
Wait till the fall is all I kept hearing. That's what got his ass whooped in the fall because it with the pink scooter. Get more 5 stars. Wouldn't that happen after that? Wasn't he barking and talking big talk?
That's fair. You're right.
And I can't even give that Jackson game that he won in the spring as a big game. Jackson was just coming off of Coach Hendricks, and Dion had just gotten there trying to build something.
I'm just telling you what signature win. So that was it.
The signature win. You just beat a team with a name. But Jackson wasn't good in that spring. Hell, Southern beat Jackson ass in the spring. Made Dion give us credit. We took a knee on him on the 1-yard line just to say, hey, man, good game. Everybody thought Jackson was going to win the championship because they beat Edward Waters. I mean, come on, man. That wasn't – I'm not going to give him that spring. That win did not matter. I give him Texas Southern. That's the one I give him. And, I mean, come on, it was Texas Southern, but I just want to know what A&M athletic director and fans, what do they want? Because they clearly different from Southern and Jackson of teams and fans who really want to be in contention, and we don't let you fuck around. Let Dooley. A year and a half he was gone. This dude Maynard has stuck around so long, I don't know what they want.
I'll say this, and I'm not speaking like I know, but I really believe Dr. Bryant wants to put his stamp on this coaching search. Like he wants to really wants to change that thing around. Now, I don't know, from word on the street, what I've been hearing is some people upstairs don't want to let Maynard go. That's just what I've been hearing. People upstairs don't want to let Maynard go. They don't. But is
it personal or is it business? Because it sounds personal.
I think
they put personal over business.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, he got another year. Let's ride it out for one more year. Maybe he might do something, right? and he's got connections with a lot of people in high places, man. Like it's one of those type of situations. And again, it's one of those things where I keep telling people it's not about athletics. It's just not. Because if you cared about athletics, there's no way that this is even a conversation. We would all know that Maynard's gone. If it was about athletics, if it was about getting a better product on the football field. But it's not, and it won't be. So until Dr. Bryant can really put his stamp on this program, it is to me, it's not going to do very well. It's just not going to do very well. That just is what it is. Did I get this score right with Norfolk State? I thought it was 28. It was 28.
They put up that 38, baby.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Hit me with it, Scotty. I know you got it on cue. Come on, Dawson Odoms. Goddamn it. I'm holding that green and gold for you, baby. 38-19 over Delaware State. Scotty, I'm disappointed in you. This was one of them 4 L's you took this weekend. How dare you go against Norfolk State?
At half, it was a game.
I don't give a damn. How dare you? Yeah, it was. It was 13-10 at halftime. Delaware State was up. But guess what? Norfolk closed it out. 21 points in the third quarter. Add another 7 in the fourth, and you get 38-19. Norfolk down 4-7 on the season, 2-2 in conference play. Delaware State 1-10, 0-4 in conference play. The Spartans 276 total yards of offense, 155 in the air, 121 on the ground for them. Very balanced, but not a lot. But it was enough. 299 yards for Delaware State, 121 in the air, 178 on the ground. 11 penalties for 100-plus yards in this ball game for Delaware State. And C.J. Henry was their quarterback. He went 17 of 27 for 121 yards. And this one, Jaden Sutton, 22 carries for 146 yards, rushing and a touchdown. Big day for Jaden Sutton in this one. On the other side, Jaden Daniels finally starting to wake up a little bit from the quarterback position. 13 of 21, 155 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns. Kavion King, 17 carries, 87 yards in this one and 2 touchdowns. And how about the Spartans getting it done? Scotty, hit me with it one more time. Dawson Odom's getting it done, boy. Listen, you lose the Delaware State coach. I don't know, but everybody, Delaware State and Southern coming through for me this year. The ugly way, but they have done it. That's been the difference makers in that prediction that we've been doing each week, man, because they was killing me in 2023, man. Killing me.
Yeah, they was. They absolutely was. Let me say this before you go. When you see this Jackson State and Alabama State game, it really shows you how good Alabama State really is. And if they had a quarterback, shit, like they would be South Carolina State for the SWAC. I'm just being honest. For Jackson to give Mulligan 22 carries and that nigga couldn't get over 100 yards, like for real, like this ain't no, I ain't joking. They gave that nigga 22 carries. He had 57 yards. And the only reason Jackson State was able to lean on Alabama State is because the nigga went 3 of 9 for 34 yards. 4 yards. What are you supposed to do with that? And they gave Kinsey 13 carries for 144 yards. So you knew what was coming. I swear to God, it felt like Alabama State did a rollout every single time for a pass play. I said, damn, you just going to roll out again? You going to do another rollout? Goddamn, another rollout? Like, I'm like, is there no other passing? Is there no other passing play in your chart other than a rollout, a sprint rollout? Listen. Alabama, listen. I would not be mad at Alabama State if they decide to run it back with E-Rob again. I wouldn't be mad. I really wouldn't, because that team, if they had a quarterback, good night, Irene. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm glad to hear that. Hear you say that, because listen, I think everybody can hear me say all year I've been giving respect to him, man. I think what he does at Alabama State is nothing more than a miracle. Because how many quarterbacks with names have left that program? What year? It was Merritt. Remember, Merritt was a good quarterback. That was under what was that, Ely?
Nah, he was a running back. Ja'Cory Merritt was a running back.
What was that quarterback they had in that spring season? Southern played him in the spring, man. That quarterback.
Ryan Nettles.
Nettles, excuse me. I remember Merritt at the running back. Nettles was supposed to be the kid. Then they got the kid that came from North Shore out of Houston. I mean, out of
Demetrius Davis.
Then they had Miles Crowley. Then Andrew Body.
And Damian Stewart, too.
It's
a quarterback graveyard. I'm just giving it up. It is a quarterback graveyard, but listen, if they don't even need, if I'm being honest, having Andrew Body would have been unfair. If they would have had Damian Stewart, the game, listen, man.
And then they lose the best wide receiver in the conference last year in Keyshawn.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I can see why he left when you got a damn quarterback with 4 passing yards. What good is he gonna do? He's sick of just blocking, man. Give me the ball. Matter of fact, what did that kid? How is he doing this year? Have you kept up with him?
Who?
Keyshawn, the wide receiver
at Western Kentucky. No, I haven't kept up with him. I need to interview him. Just
I'll check out and see what he's doing. But I mean, this program has had guys that could play the quarterback position, and we're not talking about any slouch. And I mean, look at Miles Crowley was a part of this program and then leave. So I mean, right now, I still like E-Rob. I have put respect on him all year. I wasn't ready to even jump off the bandwagon after they lost Andrew Body because I understood what this team has been built on. And it's nothing more than what they had when they didn't have quarterbacks those other years. They run the ball and they play defense. If they can only find ways to score points unorthodox on special teams like in the return game, I think that's what could help get them over the hump, but they have not been able to do that. But Jackson State survives, won 16-10 on the road at Montgomery. The Hornets, 188 total yards of offense. They went 2 of 11 on third down, Scotty. Defensive battle of this one. 4 passing yards, as you said, and 184 yards on the ground. 2 turnovers on the other side for Jackson. Jackson went 3 of 12 on third downs, if that makes it any better, for 194 yards of total offense, 120 yards passing, only 74 yards rushing. That tells you what Bama State defense was capable of doing. Both teams with 2 turnovers in this game, both with an interception and a fumble. You're talking about 4 passing yards, but then you're talking about Taquan Kinsey, 13 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown. That's the only bright spot for this Alabama State's offense. And then you had Jacoby and Morgan, modest day, 8 of 13, 120 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But I think when you look at that running back room, running back by committee, Irv Mulligan, 22 carries for only 57 yards. His longest run was only 8 yards. You look at Travis Terrell Jr., 4 carries for 28 yards. His longest run was 11 yards. Then you go to Isaiah Spencer, 1 carry for 5 yards. I mean, it was just a tough day for them. And then you had Dupree with 2 receptions, 75 yards and a touchdown. And then Gardner with 2 receptions for 28 yards and a touchdown. But other than that, normally what Jackson State does is dominate you on the ground, and then they catch you up top. Did not happen in this ball game as they struggled on the ground, but they found a way to get it done, and they got it done. 6 points. That's all it took. And Jackson State wrapped it up. They are your SWAC Eastern Division champions.
Let me say this. For anybody saying that this was a defensive battle when one team that is super one-dimensional. Okay, this is my issue. Like, you got to understand what you're saying. You can't say this game was a defensive battle when one team is playing behind with one arm tied behind his back and they still ran for over 140. One running back ran for 144 yards in the touchdown. Like, it's really not the same. Now, the reason that I don't have a problem if you fire Eddie Robb is because how he handled the quarterback position. That to me is egregious. It was just pure egregious. You had too many running backs to be forcing Andrew Body to be running the ball the way that he was. That's egregious to me because you really see what it looked like out. If you take a look at the bigger picture, you lost the SWAC championship in the first game because of how you handled the quarterback situation. Because everybody all year is going to tell you if you had a quarterback, you win. And you mismanage it in the first game, and it wrecks your whole season. not one quarterback, not two quarterbacks. I mean, not but two. You mess up two quarterbacks in one game, right? So, but listen, man. This is I'm gonna say this, and Jackson State people can say however they want. This is why I kept saying that your team is not that good. Is because you're a very, very, very limited offense. Very limited. And if and once again, it's not to say that what you do, it doesn't work. But when it doesn't work, you can't go to anything else. You just can't. But I knew once Jacoby threw that touchdown, I said game over. Game over. It was 3-0. And Bama State went down, and I think they missed the field goal, or they didn't capitalize to make it 6-0 or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, that's game. That's game. I already knew, because they don't have enough offense to keep up. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? It had to be 6-0, 9-6. It had to be that type of game for Alabama State to win. But I don't think Jackson State is going to see another defense like this, because this defense, like Alabama State's defense, it's different. Like, I don't know if anybody saw that pick by that kid. That the kid was as big as Fortillion. Like, the nigga was running right beside Fortillion, and this is how nasty the pick was. He was running beside the kid with Fortillion. He never looked at Fortillion. He's like, you're not getting this ball. The kid just running, snag. Let me get that. Let me get that. Bama State's defense is unreal. It is really unfreaking real. Traquan Thomas, DeMarcus Cunningham, Burgess, the other DB. I don't know how Eddie Robb just keeps finding these guys. He just keeps finding these Bamas, like 6'2", 6'3" corners. I'm like, where are you? It didn't matter if it was underthrown. When you got SWAC TO, it don't matter. And I play receiver. That's about as good of a jump ball as you can get as a wide receiver. It was a jump ball. And he lost, period. Thank you. It was a 50-50 ball, and Fortillion got his cookie snatched. He's supposed to be SWAC TO, 6'5", Mr. Big Time. Again, he got his cookies snatched. No diddy. So, listen, that DB was nasty. Nasty. So that was a nasty play. Jesus, that was a nasty play. I was just like, oh.
It just really hurt with that loss to Grambling the week before, though. That 1-point loss to Grambling, man. It was just like, if they could just get just a little passing going, man. Just a little passing, man. You can see why everybody was high on Bama State. I had them playing for a SWAC championship this year. I gave E-Rob the preseason SWAC Coach of the Year. I gave Andrew Body the Player of the Year. I was all.
It was loaded. The gun was loaded. It just jammed. Game one, it just jammed, and it never got fixed. But you could see, what's so disheartening about Alabama State is you see the talent. You see the talent, and you see the potential of what that team could have been if managed the right way. And I'm gonna say this: if Alabama State decides to go in a different direction, I'm not mad if you keep Eddie Robinson on staff. I'm really not mad at that. Like, if you want to make him a defensive coordinator, if you want to make him a consultant or whatever, because the way he is able to recruit defensive players, Jesus Christ. Jesus freaking Christ. And plus, he's an alum. So, he ain't going to mind. He going to be around the program anyway. He an alum. So, might as well make it work. So, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, no, I wouldn't. They don't need – Bama State don't really need an Ed Reed. They got facilities. Bama State got everything you would really want. They just need a solid coach, right? Like, I wouldn't be mad if a Sam Shade stepped into that role, a Teddy Keaton stepped into that role. Like, They just need a solid coach that understand. Oh my gosh. Now we missing field goals. Come on, Aubrey. Jesus. But it's not really it's a demotion, but it's not, because it's different if you're demoting a guy. He's an alum. He is an alum. He's going to be around. He's not just an alum. He's an NFL player alum. He's going to be around the program regardless. So you might as well make it work. You might as well. It's not like you're going to fire him and he's going to walk off into the sunset and never care about Bama State again. He's not. He's not. So it's like, if you use him as a consultant, if you talk to him or you keep him around the program, he just wants to see his alma mater win. I would hope so. But, all right, let's move on. NCCU, Howard. Howard is just bad this year. They're just bad.
Bad, very bad. Made me look crazy because I had them. Came in preseason, #1 on my poll. Came in. I thought they was going to compete for a MEAC championship, and man, did they just fall all the way off. I mean, they lose this game 26-3 to North Carolina Central. They're 4-7 on the season and 1-3 in conference play. A far cry from what they were last year, competing in the Celebration Bowl against FAMU for a national championship. North Carolina Central 7-3 now, 3-1 in conference play. 563 total yards of offense for the Eagles as they soared in this one. 321 yards passing, 242 on the ground. They had 3 turnovers, though, 2 interceptions and a fumble. But on the other side, Howard goes 0 of 13 on 3rd down, Scotty. 0 of 1 on 4th down. 121 yards of offense, only 83 passing and only 38 rushing. I'm not going into any stats because that should be enough. It was just North Carolina Central with their get back against Howard and getting it done by getting a 23-point victory over them.
Let me say this, because I completely disagree with Mr. Campbell. Tell me where that's ever happened like never. He could stay as a consultant fundraiser, but he's not going to be active on the staff. Who gets hired who's never had coaching experience at a D1 level college other than a HBCU? Right? Like no coaching experience at all. If you want to go to UAB hiring the quarterback, he at least coached at high school. So since we doing like never happened, what also has never happened? A guy who was a real estate agent a year prior became your alma mater's head coach. That ain't never happened. It's HBCU. A lot of stuff just never happened. So it's not to say that it's improbable that you keep him on staff or you keep him around the staff to say, hey, help us with defensive recruiting. Very simple. Very simple. All right, last but not least, Texas Southern Bethune. Texas Southern pulls out a close one, man. Bethune's been on a roll, but they come up short.
I got nothing for you. 17-14, Texas Southern over Bethune. I mean, that's what we're going to talk about here, man. Nothing.
All right.
I mean, shit. There's just 2 teams that, I mean, flip a coin. That's literally where we were with that game. I mean.
And that's the score said it all. The score was a flip a coin. All right. Let's get to these predictions for what, week 13? Week 12? Week 13? All right. Got the 2 classics. They're both playing this week, right? Yeah. The classic playing this week. Bethune and Fam. You already know Pop Warner Classic, Florida Classic, Alabama State, Prairie View, UAPB, Texas Southern, A&T, Elon. Go ahead, P. You can pop it off.
Ooh, I'm torn with this FAMU and Bethune game, but I just feel maybe Bethune can play a good game enough to get it done. But at the same time, FAMU, I mean, it is the Florida Classic. It's a rivalry game. I'm going to slide with FAMU in this one. Southern and Grambling not this week, though.
You didn't put that in the chat?
I didn't give you Southern and Grambling. I for sure didn't do that. Tell me. I'll hold up.
No, you didn't.
Mm-mm. But
All
we'll
right.
say that for next week. No Southern and Grambling this week.
All right, Bama State preview. I'm gonna say they don't play. I said they didn't play on that weird week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bama State over PV. PV beat Bama State last year to seal the SWAC Western Division. I'm gonna go Bama State because we've been talking about their defense, right? And I think they got enough defense to get it done over Prairie View. Ooh, UAPB and Texas Southern. This game last year, UAPB went down to Houston and beat Texas Southern. It was their only victory against a Division I team and their only conference victory last year, as they dominated Texas Southern. But I think Chris Dishman and this Texas Southern team go on the road and get it done in Pine Bluff against UAPB. And then I'm A&T, Elon, the big E. I'm going to East Side, all day, every day.
I got FAMU in the Florida Classic. I got Bama State against Prairie View. I got Texas Southern against UAPB. And the only reason I got it is because I think Texas Southern's defense is better than UAPB's defense. So I think they can kind of pull that game out, kind of limit what they like to do. And everybody against A&T, it don't matter. That Jay could have been Fort Valley State. I do not care. I was going to pick Fort Valley State. And it just A&T is just ass. Okay, they're just bad. All right. Albany against Hampton. South Carolina State against Norfolk. NCCU versus Dale State. Howard, Morgan, Alcorn, Jackson. Pete, I'll go first. I got Hampton. I really listen, man. I like what I'm seeing from Hampton. They've been in a lot of shootouts. They've been in a lot of close games. I'm hopefully they pull that one out. I'm gonna go on a limb on that one. It's too easy to go to PWI route every time. South Carolina State, Norfolk, that's not even a game. NCCU, Dale State, once again. Ooh, NCCU, hold on. They losing a lot of players. As long as they got Jamari Taylor, they straight. If they got Jamari Taylor, they good. If they don't got Jamari Taylor, that might be a game.
This may have Valley FAMU Part 2 written all over it.
It really could. I mean, you lost enough players. You're right. The battle of the bad. Howard and Morgan are just bad. I'm gonna have to go with Morgan. I just think they have something to hang their hat on with their defense, even though it didn't show up against South Carolina State. And I'm gonna go Alcorn. I think Alcorn just pulls it out. Jackson doesn't. It's clinched. They got players suspended. I mean, the only real player that is suspended that really matters is Ashton Taylor. That's the report that I got. But I can tell you who's suspended. Ashton Taylor suspended. Dave Jones Jr., Cam McCoy. Listen, if you watch that, I'm gonna go Jackson. They don't got enough people to lose. It's too many no names that really affect the game other than Ashton Taylor. But Cam McCoy, he need to be suspended for 2 games. He was instigated. Okay, like you can clearly see.
Is he number 7?
He number 6.
6.
You can clearly see that nigga was instigating. He should have been gone for 2 games. Jamil Garner, Richard Mays Jr., KJ Chisholm, and Day Bright. Those are all the guys that have been suspended. But the only real one is Ashton Taylor. That is going to be somewhat effective. I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna go Jackson on that one. They don't got enough pieces that's missing. I'm gonna go NCCU, South Carolina State, and I'm gonna go Hampton.
Look like we right on board. Hey, I like Hampton. At one time it was my number 1 team in my list. But that's still not a bad program. You can see the uptick to them competing in that conference in the CAA. I like them against Albany. I'm going to take Hampton. As much as I like my man Dawson Odom. Matter of fact, give me a behold.
Nah.
Give me a behold. You cut me off.
I give you a behold. You ain't picking them. That ain't
You don't know what I'm finna pick.
I know what you finna pick.
I switch up sometimes. You just switched up. Chenna's buried by 40. All right, I'm going South Carolina State. Listen, North Carolina Central and Delaware State. Hey, I still think Trey Oliver can light a fire under their ass at any given time. I'm going North Carolina Central because you know why? That fight hurt. FCS playoff at large bid is still in. No.
They don't got no signature wins.
You never know who can lose that may open the door for them. Somebody can lose around FCS and open the door. They made it in last year, losing to Howard. They can get in there. I'm keeping their hopes alive of postseason They got to get that. I think Trey Oliver get them together. Howard versus Morgan State. I'm going Morgan State over Howard. Neither team really has offense. This really is some sorry shit when you look at both these offensive coordinators in these programs. But I'm going to go with Morgan because I think Morgan defense maybe can just hold up, but it didn't seem like they had that against South Carolina State. And then Alcorn and Jackson. I'm going Jackson State over Alcorn on the reservation. And let me tell y'all something. I'm thinking about, I might just be at this game this weekend. I'm thinking about going up to the reservation this weekend. I believe I'm going to be in attendance for this one. I've never been to a Jackson State Alcorn game, so I think I'm going to go up. Alcorn's not that far from Baton Rouge, maybe 2 hours, a little under. So I think I'm going to go up. Southern don't have a game. So if you see me there, Jackson and Alcorn, there's a possibility I might be there. And I believe I'm highly considering it. To be honest, I probably will be there.
I'm gonna have to switch my pickup. I'm gonna have to go U Albany because I gotta get my picks back. So I gotta go U Albany on the pick of Hampton, and yeah, let me see if I can switch. No, I ain't gonna switch nothing else. Yeah, I gotta switch that one up. All right.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified free, 7 days a week. Listen, it's changed. It's changed. Now, let me explain. Let me explain to you why, right? Let me explain to you why. A&T is the only jump off that has not beat a Division I opponent. I want to be very clear why Aggies are number one in this jump off building. Okay. Delaware State, I believe, has beat a D1 opponent. Valley beat FAMU. Bethune-Cookman, okay. Graham, they just bad. But North Carolina A&T has not beat a Division I opponent all season. Go ahead, P.
What about UAPB?
What about you?
You keep putting Grambling in and leaving UAPB out?
I think Grambling's worse.
If it was me, UAPB would be in the 5th spot. I mean, hey, do I like UAPB? Do I care about Palm Bluff? I do, but that program, no. I mean, Grambling still at least have 5 wins on the season. UAPB only has what? They beat Prairie View. They beat Arkansas Baptist. And they beat Valley.
Grambling bad.
At least Grambling beat Jackson.
I think this is my mindset, right? This is my mindset. So I look at it like this: the expectation of teams, right? Like, so it's like I would have expected UAPB to be in the same boat as Valley, Dale State, Ag. Like, they got more wins than all them jokers, right? It's like they're the girl that's about to get their CNA license. You know, like they moving on up. Right? Like, hey, I got to do something to get out of the bottom. Grambling is the girl that you was like, weren't you valedictorian?
But Grambling ain't a jump. Grambling like that sneaky one. Like, she'll go.
That's why she's at 5.
UAPB still going.
Nah.
Like, UAPB is still, it's like,
she's trying to do
you
better
can
with her
still
life.
get some without having to date in court. Grambling, you kind of got to like, hey, like, you want to hang out sometime? Like, I mean,
nah,
they did beat Bama State. They beat Jackson State.
Grambling is the girl that in high school, she was bad, didn't want to give you no attention. Now she done got 3 kids. She got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, because she done been through, how many coaches Grambling done been through? So they got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, right? And now she trying to give you some attention. Like, nah.
UAPB done gave it up for 3 straight weeks. I'm talking about getting smashed out. Jackson beat them 41-3. Alabama A&M put 50 points on them and ran for almost 400 yards. And then Southern just beat them 31-9. You getting just all over the place. On your face, on your chest, all over the place. That's why I got to put UAPB right there in the 5th spot. I mean, The past 3 weeks after that Valley win has been tough for the Golden Lions. Tell me it's not. Grambling at least snuck out Bama State a week ago. They at least snuck that out. But UAPB, man, A&M had their way with them, bro. Come on now. When A&M can get off multiple.
And didn't A&M beat Grambling?
But, I mean, they went off for 50 points on them, though. 50.
Expectations. Different expectations.
Jackson killed them. Southern killed them. I mean, they just been legs wide open. Come get you some. I think Grambling is just, let's say Grambling on the bubble. Once again, Grambling like the girl, like, hey, you real life got to, like, talk to her to get her. Like, you can't go to her and be like, hey, man, you let Scotty hit it. Can I hit it? No, you can't do that. Grambling, you kind of got to come like, hey, you know, got to kind of talk to her a little bit. You may have to text her a little bit. You may have to hit on the phone a couple. UAPB, you ain't got to text and call. Hey, what's up with it? What you finna do? We about to go blow one down. Come, you want? Yeah, I want to go. We about to go drink a little bit. You want to come? Yeah, it's just that easy. Grambling ain't that easy. You got just a little bit of work. Just a little bit. So I think UAPB need to be in that fifth spot, man. Yeah, them Golden Lions got to be in that fifth spot. I would take Grambling off of there.
Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it.
That is your team too, man. How you gonna do your team like that, man?
They bad.
Oh, my bad. Do you believe in Eric Dooley?
Nah.
Okay.
And that's why I always was like, oh yeah, and then you would say, I was like, yeah, I forgot Eric Dooley's the coach. And I just got confirmation that yes, Eric Dooley's still calling plays. Somebody just texted me from the team, said yeah, he's still calling plays. So if I'm an A&T fan, 2025, I know we're not there yet, but you should be. Okay, like your mind, everything in you should just be saying 2025.
I just saw some shit. Somebody said UAPB been working like the girl on Hustle, that white girl on Hustle Flow. Somebody, who's in charge? I'm in charge. Yes, you go. UAPB, hey, I want this mic, man. Go in there and get this mic for me, man. That's UAPB.
And Grambling would be the pregnant girl that was thinking it's hard. That should be Taraji. You think Grambling be Taraji?
Now Grambling would be the one he had to kick out the house.
Oh, the one that was back talking.
Yeah, like Grambling still got some fight in it, just a little bit, you know, like. And then when you kick him out the house, they play the victim, but you know, you can't really pimp her all the way out. He still had them other two under lock and key. They was getting pimped out. That's why that's Grambling for me. You got to kick Grambling out because Grambling's still mild. He still got some fight. Yeah. That's crazy. We just referred. That's a good movie to refer to. Hustling for Pimping. That's
it's all out here for a pimp. All right, P.
HBCU top 5 this week. Look, nothing has changed in my top 5 because all of these teams did what they were supposed to do last week and won. Number 5, Southern University, 7-4, 6-1. They clinched the SWAC Western Division title, defeating UAPB 31-9. They have wrapped it up in Coach Terrence Gray's first year as a head coach, and they did it. It may not have been pretty. 3 overtimes this year with Texas Southern, Prairie View, and 5 overtimes against Bethune-Cookman, but nonetheless, they got it done. Going through the quarterback room, going through the running backs, making adjustment at offensive line, and then how about Willie Miles sealing the deal against UAPB, putting the cherry on top, making it on Sports Center. He's been all over ESPN today because of that big play and because Southern was able to wrap up the SWAC Western Division title at 6-1 in conference play. They're my number 5 team. Going at number 4, how about Tennessee State? 8-3, 5-2. They got it done against Gardner-Webb, and they continue to win ball games. I cannot take anything away from Eddie George and what this program has continued to do. They have battled, and they are battle-tested in Ohio Valley Conference. They beat all of their black college opponents this year, and they continue to win. You're talking about a loss to Texas, Tennessee Tech, UT Martin, and North Dakota State. Aside from that, they have done a great job, and I think for me, they're the number 4 best team in black college football. Going at number 3, Coach Trey Oliver and the North Carolina Central Eagles. I'm going to have to roll with them at 7-3, 3-1. They won that game last week at Howard. Of course, it was tough, but I like North Carolina Central and what they've been able to do. They have continued to push through this season. Even though they fell to South Carolina State, they still are a formidable opponent. And I think if they can win it out, maybe they can get an at-large bid into the FCS football playoffs. I'm pulling for them. Let's see what they do. Number 2, South Carolina State. The Bulldogs, Chennis Berry, impressive. Nothing more than impressive what they've been able to do offensively with Eric Phoenix, what they've been able to do defensively, shutting teams out. And they have won big as the season has gone on, 4-0 in conference play. They have wrapped up the MEAC. They are your MEAC champions for 2024. They have punched the ticket to the Celebration Bowl. And Coach Chennis Berry has gotten that done. I think we have to be able to put him in the conversation as Coach of the Year across Black college football as his team 8-2. And then for me, the number 1 team in Black college football, in my opinion, is the Tigers of Jackson State. A tough one, 16-10 on the road against Alabama State last week, but nonetheless, they found a way to get it done. They improved to 7-0 in conference play, 9-2 overall on the season. And Coach T.C. Taylor in his second season also has to be considered for Coach of the Year of what he's done as Jackson State has wrapped up the SWAC Eastern Division. They have punched their ticket to the SWAC Championship. And most of all, they're going to host the SWAC Championship. So for Coach T.C. Taylor and the Tigers of Jackson State, they are my number 1 team. And so as I wrap it up, number 5, Southern University, the SWAC East, SWAC West Division champions. Tennessee State, a formidable opponent in Ohio Valley Conference. North Carolina Central, who I think may can earn an at-large bid in the FCS playoffs. South Carolina State at number 2, who have punched their ticket as the MEAC champion into the Celebration Bowl. And Jackson State, who's going to host the SWAC Championship and are your 2024 SWAC Eastern Division champions.
So I got a text that says, hearing rumors Willie Simmons to Kennesaw State, or at least he's interviewing for the job. Kennesaw State's AD Milton Overton hired Willie at FAMU. I live here in Kennesaw and the fans are actually open to it from the ones that I talked to. I think that would be a dope hire. I would love to see Willie get that job, and I would damn sure start covering Kennesaw State. All right. My top 5 looks a little different. So I got Alabama State at number 5. I like the way that they played Jackson. I like what I saw in the team. I like what I've seen from Alabama State as overall without the quarterback play. I think they're a solid team. Jackson State still comes in at number 4 for me. I just don't think overall they're better than I don't think they've played better teams above these top 3 teams. And I just think they're not as complete as the top 3 teams from the conference. Tennessee State being able to do it passing as well as running. NCCU being able to do it passing. Now, I could have went TSU 2. I probably should have went TSU 2 and then NCCU 3. That's just me personally. I probably should have did that because they played harder competition than NCCU. But and then South Carolina State, man, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're the best team in Black college football. I mean, like, the way that they're beating teams is just unfreaking real. It's unreal. But yeah, I think the only thing I would change in my list is probably put TSU at 2 and then put NCCU at number 3. And listen, if we're being honest, there's a case to put Tennessee State at number 1. There is a case because of just the consistent. I mean, you have to make a case. I still think South Carolina State's the best team, but you can make a case for Tennessee State being number 1 because of the competition that they have to see day in and day out. Is better than any Black college team. It's better than any Black college team. It just is, right? And you give Alabama State or Jackson State the schedule that Tennessee State has. Are they 8-3, 5-2? I don't know. I'll just say that. I do not know. So we'll see. But that is my top 5 for these HBCU HBCU top 5. That's my top 5. So, all right. Game of the week. Very simple. the battle for first, the battle for the conference championship, or to get there. I don't know how the Big South does it, or OV. I don't know how they do it, but whatever. This is the game. SEMO, Tennessee State. I mean, if you're a Tennessee State fan, alum, or whatever, you just have to give kudos for what Eddie George has built and that they gave him the time to build it. A lot of coaches don't get 3 to 4 years to kind of change the program around. The battle for the share of the championship. Thank you, Blue. So a lot of coaches in this day and age aren't given the 3 to 4 years to make changes. And he has built a sustainable season. He has built a sustainable winner this season throughout the ups and downs that he's had his first years at the job. So I'm excited, man. Listen, I'm going to rock with the HBCU in this one. I know SEMO's a tough team. I know Blue over there. I know as soon as I said Blue dropped his head like, oh, he don't know what SEMO. But listen, I haven't seen the film on SEMO. But I've seen a couple scores of the same caliber of opponent, and they've looked the same. I know that's not a good way to judge it, but that's about as good as I got because I didn't watch no film on SEMO. So that's about as good as I can do. So I'm going to roll with Eddie George. I'm going to roll with Tennessee State. I'm going to pray for him. I'm going to ask Key to pray for him because I really want him to come out and win this game against SEMO. I think it'll be huge for the program. What you got, P?
Y'all look at both these teams. Southeast Missouri is 9-2 overall on the season. They're 6-1 in conference play. They are at the top of the conference in Ohio Valley. Then you look over at Tennessee State, 8-3, 5-2 on the season. They're tied with like 3 other teams sitting there at 5-2 in this conference. What I look at in this game, when I look at Southeast Missouri, guess what? They lost the game on November 9th against Lindenwood, who we saw Tennessee State beat. Lindenwood beat them 24-12. They got past Western Illinois 54-14. Gardner-Webb 30-24. Charleston Southern 26-13. And they beat Tennessee Tech 34-3 back on October 12th. It's been some close games for Southeast Missouri over the past few weeks. But then on the other side for Tennessee State, both these teams 1-4 in their last 5 games. For Tennessee State, they beat Eastern Illinois 41-17. They beat Howard 27-14 on the road. They lost to Tennessee Martin 28-21. They beat Western Illinois 45-20, and they just beat Gardner-Webb by 3 this past weekend, 23-20. This sets up for a great matchup between both these teams. And when you look at both these teams, somebody has to win it. Somebody has to get that bid or that share. Now, I don't know how the share works when you're looking at that FCS playoff conference championship bid, but this right now, when you look at this conference and the Big South OVC, you got Southeast Missouri that's right there. The Red Hawks at the top at 6-1. Then you're gonna have Tennessee Tech. You're gonna have UT Martin, Tennessee State. All those 3 teams sitting right there at 5-2. So this would be big if Tennessee State is able to get this victory because remember, they lost to Tennessee Tech and UT Martin. Both those teams have victories over Tennessee State. What's interesting, he was talking about South Carolina State. South Carolina State beat Tennessee Tech because Tennessee Tech missed the field goal at the end of the game. So I don't know how this tiebreaker is going to work because you're still going to have Tennessee Tech and UT Martin that has the head-to-head over Tennessee State. But then I don't know those other 2 teams in terms of what their head-to-head is like throughout the rest of the conference. So this should be an interesting one. And I'm going to go Southeast Missouri in this one. I think the Red Hawks get it done. I like Tennessee State. I think they've had a tremendous season, but I think Southeast Missouri State gets it done, and the Red Hawks beat Tennessee State.
Hey, Blue, let me ask you this. I know you're still in the chat. How does the bid? I know they get an auto bid. I know they get an auto bid if they win outright. But can they get the seed, like a lower seed bid, or what is it called? And
he may have to call in and explain this one because this is interesting because this can ultimately affect North Carolina Central because how this said, that's what I'm saying. With all of the way that this goes, it could affect the at-large for another team. And I don't know how this will work.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
all right, he said check my DMs. Okay. So, okay. Wow.
It's probably crazy.
It is. SEMO would earn an automatic qualifier with a 7-1 record, a four-way tie at 6-2 between SEMO, TSU, TTU, and UTM. Three-way tie at 6-2 between SEMO, TSU, and UTM. TSU would earn an automatic qualifier with a two-way tie at 6-2 with SEMO. TTU would earn, Tennessee Tech would earn an automatic qualifier with a three-way tie at 6-2 between SEMO, Tennessee State, and Texas secure automatic qualifier. Now, my question, Blue, yes, that's what I was. That's at-large bid. Could they still get an at-large bid? And he said they could still get an at-large bid at a 9-3, even without the auto bid. So I just wanted to make sure they can still get in.
Does that? Let me ask you this, Blue, because if they get the at-large bid coming out of that conference, where does that affect North Carolina Central? Like, what has to happen for North Carolina Central to sneak in with that at-large bid?
Let me get this. I'm about to present it on the screen for you guys. Hope you. All right, there you go.
Because right now we can have two black college teams in the FCS playoffs, right? Tennessee State and North Carolina Central.
I don't think North Carolina Central is going to get in, but
you don't think so?
He said everybody got to lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's in front? Like, where? I know that we getting, but I'm curious because after this weekend they're going to have a selection. Like, what has to happen for the, because we're on the watch party for North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
What has to happen if they win this weekend? What has to happen to get them through the door this weekend once the selection committee looks?
All right. Blue says NCC needs a ton of help. They probably need Southeast Louisiana, Tennessee State, NAU, and New Hampshire to all lose. So, thank you, Blue. The boy wonder. The boy wonder strikes again. So, shout out. All right. Take a few callers. I'm gonna do about 10 minutes. If anyone calls in, do about 10 minutes. I gotta get something to eat before McDonald's close. Hey, listen, I've been on these quarter pounders. Hey.
And they've been giving out salmonella or whatever the hell going on at McDonald's.
If it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Have you ever eaten a filet of fish?
Hell yeah! With no mayo, with no talk.
One of my partners, so I went and tried that that chicken Big Mac. They can keep that shit.
Oh yeah. I ain't.
But one of my partners flipped it on him and did it with the filet of fish. It did double. So now it's on my mind because you said that I think I might want to tell them drop me 2 of them things fresh, man, and give me that filet of fish Big Mac. Cause that do sound good. My partner was telling me about that earlier because I've been complaining how nasty that damn. They did a piss poor job because they're not even using good chicken. They're using like the McChicken.
I do like the McChicken.
I like the hot and spicy.
I like that.
They don't have the hot and spicy all over.
I like the McChicken.
But you got to give me that. Man, come on. I don't like what they did with it. I did not like it with the chicken when it was horrible.
The fish fillet, listen, that fish fillet be hitting, and especially if you put like some Old Bay on it with that. Because I add cheese on. No, it comes with cheese. So I be like fish fillet. What I do with chicken, I add cheese. But no, I can't do the mayo. Mayo, no tartar sauce. Can't do the tartar. Sometimes I can do the tartar sauce if I'm in the mood for tartar sauce, but most of the time I can't do it. I like it dry. But I bet a fish fillet, like a Big Mac fish fillet. P, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to figure that one out right there. So what happens? You just tell him to put it on the Big Mac, or you just?
That's how he said he told him. Fix it like the Big Mac. He didn't want the chicken. He wanted the fish. And he said they hooked him up. Now, I don't know. It's like when they say you can go to Waffle House. Some Waffle Houses, you can have them make that shit you seeing on Facebook and TikTok. Then others, they like, boy, no, hell no.
You want to get what's off that menu?
So, you make it go to McDonald's and, man, serve them up. Oh, you in a good community, though. You over there with them good Christian white people. Them Republican voters.
Dog, they got a big old MAGA sign out, a big old billboard MAGA sign going up on one of the streets up here. But listen,
well, just do it in the drive-thru. Don't go inside. Then you go through the drive-thru. Put on your good Christian white man voice. Hey, I would like a double fillet of fish. Yeah, you gotta do that. They'll do it for you.
yeah. All right.
It's when you go to the hood, they like, hell no, we ain't doing that. No, I can't do that. So yeah, you might get away with it.
Especially if you go late, you can't do it late because they don't want to do all the extra stuff. You gotta go like middle of the day, everybody work. Like right after lunch. Right after lunch is the best time to do it. Like that 2-3 o'clock time, it'd be dead. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Roll up in the drive-thru. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. All right, let's take these 2 calls real quick. Deanna from Ohio, coming to you.
Scotty, Perry, what's going on, family? How y'all feeling?
Man, good. How you doing, man?
Good. I got a question for each of y'all, if that's cool.
Go ahead.
My first question is for Scotty, man. And you guys talked about it a little bit. I would like for you to go a little bit more in depth. You always say this. My dad used to say this. If a coach has a specialty and he becomes a head coach, whatever his specialty is, his team has to be good at that. And I know you've been hard on Eddie Robb, and I've been hard on Eddie Robb, and I totally agree with you 1,000% on how he mismanaged both of his quarterbacks to start the season. But he's a defensive guy, All-American, NFL player, and what we saw his defense do Saturday night against Jackson State, totally neutralizing Irv Mulligan, we have to give him credit because he's a defensive guy. He has the best defensive team in HBCU. I believe they're number 3 in FCS. Like, we got to give Eddie Robb some love just on how outstanding that defense is, man. That front 7 was grown men. Like, those dudes was unreal. And I haven't seen anything like it in quite some time. That game reminded me of the Morgan and NCCU game from a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? So I know you will, but can we give Eddie Robb just some love with how great? That's just not a good defense. That's a stellar defense.
No, I'm not taking anything away from it. I mean, I knew that it was going to be a tough go for Jackson. I knew it because I know what they're capable of, right? Like, it kind of scared me when I saw Grambling run for what they did, but I knew at home they're going to get up for that game. They're just going to get up for it because of the rivalry that they've had between them. And I agree with you to this point, D. Like, the part of Eddie Robb's game is not the weakness of this team. You said, like, so the strength of what he is the strength of this team. So you have to give him kudos for that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to bring him back for another year, I wouldn't be mad at that because the defense has never been the problem for this team.
Right.
Offensively, he has had issues, but again, he's the one that hired the Bama from Winston-Salem State. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that let go of the Bama before him, right? So and he's the one that forced Demetrius Davis on Alabama State's offense. So as much as we want to give him kudos for the defense, we also have to dink it. We have to mark off.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways because he's the one micromanaging the offense when that is not your lane. You got to go get a guy that you trust or that you feel you can trust and say, hey, do you? But when I see something going awry, I'm going to step in and say, hey, let's run the ball here. Hey, let's pass right here, right? So just little things like that. But no, I'll give Eddie Robb all the kudos in the world. His defense is legit, and there's no getting away from it. It is absolutely phenomenal. But go ahead.
No, those dudes was filthy, man. Like I said, that was a great game. And I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know how you saw it, but I think the only reason JSU won that game was for 2 reasons, and they both was on special teams. It was Matt Noel and his punting, because anytime the offense was stalling out and they couldn't keep a drive going, he was pinning them boys inside the 10 to 15 yards every time. And then Terrell, even though he didn't run anything back for a touchdown, he kept returning the ball to the 40 or to midfield every single time. So they always was in good position, which means if they didn't get enough first downs to get in field goal range, now you go right back to Matt Noel, and he's punting them and keeping them in that proverbial 10 to 15-yard box where they have to go 90 to 85 yards to score a touchdown. So those 2 guys, to me, was the real MVP of that game. If you look at it from a holistic standpoint, you know what I mean? Just how well they exceeded at doing their job that particular night.
It goes down to simply saying that there's 3 phases to the game. And if you don't care, it's always the phase that you don't care about that always ends up biting you in the ass when you don't want it to, right? Because Matt Noel is a freaking problem. Matt Noel he's a NFL punter. I'm not like he's an NFL punter.
Scotty, does he not get drafted, man?
No, he don't. No, hell no, he don't get drafted. No punter gets drafted. Let's not be crazy now. We not out here.
But I'm saying you don't take a guy like that in the 7th round.
Hell no, he's a punter. You can get a punter off, bro. You can get a punter and just bring him in as a tryout body and be like, oh, he's a good punter. Okay, we'll keep him on. You know what I'm saying? But you don't draft him. Boy, you will get fired. Okay, you will be the worst GM in the world. Come on, man. What?
Okay,
stop it.
At least he can make somebody's roster.
Absolutely.
On that.
Absolutely. There's a Bama from UAPB that's on. He's a punter. I think the punter from UAPB got drafted. I mean, not drafted, but he's on the staff.
And he went to I think with the Cleveland Browns at one time.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely that nice. He's definitely that nice.
He is. So him and Terrell by 4. And then this is my question for Perry, since we talk SWAC East, let's go SWAC West. You boys have a bye this week, that being your Southern Jaguars. And is there a quarterback controversy when we get into the Bayou Classic before we get to the SWAC Championship? Are you guys going back to T-Set, or are you going to stick with Jalen Woods? Because, I mean, looking at his numbers against UAPB, he didn't have a bad game. Tell us some inside information about your quarterback room going into these next 2 games.
Me personally, I don't think controversy and Southern quarterbacks should not go together. Controversy was with Eric Dooley and his quarterback because he did not want to make the change when he had Harold Blood and then when he had Bashawn McCray. There's no controversy in this quarterback room because what you see is inconsistency. So what you're doing is giving guys opportunity to get reps. Looking at Noah Biden, I think you have to give him the opportunity because he was the eldest of the room. He had 4 starts at Grambling before he transferred to Southern. He won the Bayou Classic last year when he started. But then when he came into this year and he had an entire season to kind of they gave him the keys to the car. What happened? He just didn't drive it well. He didn't know how to drive a stick. He didn't know how to turn the signal light on to make a left. So then you had to give it to the next guy. And the unfortunate part, you got 2 red shirt guys. You got T-Set and you have Woods. Now, the problem that we have looked at with T-Set and Woods, that goes back to what we talk about controversy that should have been said under Coach Dooley, because these guys clearly should have got reps last year when you saw the quarterback struggle last year for Southern. These should have been guys that you got out there and let them kind of work it out. Unfortunately, Southern has to put them out there this year and work it out. And it is really not an unfortunate situation because it has shown you T-Set has an ability as a dual threat quarterback, and it's showing you that Woods have the ability to make the big throw, on top of manage the game well. There's no controversy. You do not go back to Noah Biden. The only way you go back to Noah Biden at this point, unless things just completely fall apart. But I think we have given Noah Biden more than enough opportunity to show us what he can do. And unfortunately, he has not shown it to be the eldest of the room. The 2 young guys, T-Set threw a game-winning touchdown against Alabama A&M, won the game 25-20. Woods comes in and starts last week and played the complete game. Only 1 mistake with an interception, but wins the game for Southern and makes a big play. Southern had a big pass play last week for 71 yards, was only their 2nd big explosive play on the season. That's what you're looking for eventually out of a quarterback that can give you an explosive play instead of constantly having to work it down the field, nickel and diamond. You need explosive plays for morale and for the team. So I don't think it's no controversy. You're just going through the roster. You're doing what coach is supposed to do. When you find inconsistency, next man up. And I think you're watching 2 young quarterbacks grow up in front of our eyes. It is tough sometimes because they have growing pains. These guys aren't seasoned.
Right.
That's what we was looking for in Noah Biden's season, but he does not seem to have it. But you're going to see T-Set. You're going to see Woods. You're going to see whoever has the hot hand, and that's what I like about this coaching staff. There's no favoritism. It's whoever's ready to play.
I was never mentioning Biden. I think he's done. His time is done. I was saying between these 2 young guys, because like you said, this kid, Woods was efficient. He was 14 for 22 with a touchdown. And again, it was against UAPB, but it's a good game to get some confidence before you go into the Bayou Classic. You know what I'm saying? switch quarterbacks in and out? You know what I'm saying? Or do you stick with him, or do you stick with T-Set leading up to the SWAC championship? I know Botton is totally out the picture. That was my question. But I appreciate you for giving me that answer. I would just really like to see what way Graves goes with this Bayou Classic and then the SWAC championship, which one of his young guys he sticks with, or does he continue to do musical chairs?
I think you just got to look at practice. That's what it's been. What you do at practice. There's no, these guys, that's why you got a quarterback battle. You let them figure it out. It ain't on me to figure it out. You let them figure it out who's going to be the best in terms of commanding the first team offense. When the offensive coordinator and the coaches sit down and they evaluate film, they're going to go with it. That's how Jalen Woods got into this situation. They looked at what he did in that second when they gave him the opportunity against Bethune-Cookman in that 5 overtimes and said, you know what? This kid gave us a better opportunity when T-Set looked like he struggled. Then they gave him an opportunity at practice, and guess what? He took the bull by the horns, and he got it. So it's going to be an ongoing battle because guess what? You would have thought T-Set would have been the guy after what he did against Alabama A&M. It's day-to-day, it's week-to-week because these guys are both redshirt freshmen. You got to let them grow up, and what's the best way to grow a guy up in practice? A competition, a battle, and then you sit down and you evaluate the film. So I think you just go with whoever got the high hand at the time, and we don't know who it's going to be. So I think that's why you just got to wait until that moment. We'll see how they practice, and then once we get there, I trust this coaching staff enough because we've seen it all season to make the best decision on which guy they're going to send out there. And if one of those guys begin to struggle, you already know they're going to go to the next guy because they're trying to win something here. And that's how they've ended up in this situation winning the Western Division title.
Yeah. All right, man. Good stuff, Perry, man. You two brothers keep up the good work, man.
Hey, appreciate it, D. All right, I'm taking these last 2 callers, and then we're going to get up out of here.
The conference has been locked.
JB, coming to you.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing this evening?
What's up, JB?
All right, guys. Okay, first of all, I just want to thank y'all for giving some love to the Tennessee State Southeast Missouri game for your game of the week. That is a big one. Now, one thing that I would implore Tennessee State fans, y'all need to go to this game. This is for a potential conference championship. This is when they need you the most because I think Eddie George has talked a lot about fans need to show up. Now, for some reason, if Eddie George decides to dip, which I don't hope he does, because he's doing very good and whatnot, but if he decides to dip, what are we going to say? We're like, oh my God, how come we don't want to stay at black schools? But he's been begging folks to come to games. Now, I get it. People want to see him play other schools, whatever, but he has no control over that. If someone has a chance to actually do something and win some games, you need to support him, period. This like false pride stuff needs to stop. And by the way, if you guys want to conferences that bad, come up with that exit fee money and pay the difference in costs. Otherwise, don't complain about stuff. That's number one. Number two, I think you guys talked about North Carolina Central making the playoffs. One thing that hurt Central is their schedule. You had D3, UB Lynchburg on your schedule outside of conference. That's going to kill you a lot. And then you also have a loss, a 20-point plus point loss to Elon, which is 5-6 right now. The signature wins aren't there, so you guys have to get those games. But then the last thing I wanted to discuss, after bringing my last point, whatnot, I was talking about playoffs. I'm sure you guys saw the D2 schedules came out. Scott, I hope you plan to do another watch party because I think Miles is hosting Carson Newman and Virginia Union is at Wingate. Hopefully you show one of those games on live and whatnot. That would be kind of checked out. So that'd be kind of cool for you to do if you did that again. But the previous, I said the last thing I want to address, because I haven't you guys addressed this or not. It was about all of the violence that's, well, I shouldn't say violence. I guess like some of the extracurricular activities that are taking place after some of our games. Now, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is something that John Grant was quoted as saying in the HBCU game day piece. Once again, if you guys talk about this, I apologize. He said, this is something we can't sweep under the rug. People are seeing this. ESPN is carrying these games. Now, there's a saying that Stephen A. Smith has. White people catch a cold, black people catch pneumonia. We keep talking about TV contracts, how we don't get TV deals. If folks at ESPN watching these games say, wait a minute, are we going to give contracts to schools who fight a lot? Now, once again, I know it's not everybody, but we just can't keep saying, okay, if something bad happens to an HBCU, so, oh no, that's just individual school. But if something great happens, oh, HBCUs all around the box. We can't pick and choose when to be, however we want to cool that one, and then kind of like throw that out when someone's gets bad press. I'm just going to say, and then I think Coach Simmons talked before about our social media and other social media groups. Let's not act like that. Maybe some of the current players aren't seeing what these people talk about in these groups, and maybe that could be playing into some of the chippiness that takes place before, during, after a game. Now, I'm not saying play nice all the time. I'm saying that, but just be mindful of whatnot, because we have some people who can't control their emotions out there, and we don't want that to possibly hurt any kind of potential business ventures we have coming down the road. And that's all I got.
Hey, appreciate you calling me, JB.
Thank you.
Man, the Cowboys just ran like the worst fourth down. Oh my gosh, man! I feel like they got Joe Henry at the offensive coordinator.
Well, don't nobody want to hear about no goddamn Cowboys except you. The season is over. Be ready to draft.
Yeah. I hope we get Cam Ward.
Next year.
I hope we get Cam Ward. 3475 coming to you.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Calling from Atlanta.
Do you not have a name, Mr. Atlanta?
Ricardo.
Okay, what's up, Mr. Ricardo?
Just want to make 2 points. One, I think earlier tonight you said you didn't know a coach who had got hired with no coaching experience. What about Eddie George?
You're making my point. That you're the point. Mr. Ricardo, the point was, I said, Mr. Campbell said that won't happen. I said, oh, like people getting jobs that have never had coaching experience before, like a real estate agent who was a real estate agent a year before and then got a coaching job. Or you could say the same thing about Eddie George. So why, if that can happen, why can't he be on staff even though he's an alumni of the football program? You're making my point. I don't know what you're trying to say.
I didn't hear you say Eddie George. I apologize for that.
No. I didn't say Eddie George. No, I didn't say Eddie George, but what you're saying is just making my point. HBCUs have done this before. That's what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing was you always touting Tennessee State in your poll. Can you tell me a team that Tennessee State has beaten with a winning record?
Let me go back. I don't know the OV.
It takes a while, doesn't it? Because they haven't.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Talking about okay. I'm loving this energy because I'm about to give it back to you. So
Okay.
So what opinion are you trying to make on the opposite? What's the antithesis of your opinion? Because if you're telling me,
I'm just saying you are touting them. You're saying, well, they did this. Their conference record is better than anybody else in HBCU.
No. What is
you got to be smoking dope.
What is the antithesis of your argument? So if you're telling me that they haven't beat anybody with a winning record, so you're saying that somebody in the SWAC has a better one, because that's what I'm asking you. What's the antithesis of your argument?
Take anyone. Take Southern. Take Jackson State. Take either one of them.
So you're telling me, okay, if you give Tennessee State,
they ain't beat nobody with a winning record.
If you give,
and you saying they've had a tough.
If you give anybody in the SWAC Tennessee State's record, do they come out with Tennessee State's record? I'm asking. Yeah.
Okay. Playing nothing but losing teams? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
So is yours, because you smoking dope.
I know.
You're smoking dope.
You the one smoke that dope, man.
You're smoking dope. That's why they don't. So what white school has the SWAC beat this year? Don't worry.
You got to.
I'm asking. What white school has a SWAC team beat this year?
So you telling me the only teams that are good are white schools?
I'm asking. Because every
I'm asking you. What's your point? Tell me one.
Because every FCS opponent that a SWAC school has gone up against, they have not won. FAMU lost to Troy. Southern got mollywopped by Nichols.
Keep us out of this.
No. Let's talk. Let's talk, Ricardo.
Us out of this.
Let's talk, Ricardo. Let's talk. What out of conference win has the SWAC had that you're like, oh, that's a great out of conference win?
Grambling beat Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah, you play.
My bad.
You play who on your schedule.
Now you play who's on your schedule. Oh, that's funny.
Ain't that what
So now,
you do?
so now,
Yeah.
so now
Because
Tennessee
Tennessee State played their schedule, and they so good. They so much better because they played a lot of losers.
Okay. So you, okay. Wow, this is crazy right now. So you're telling me that? So you saying?
I hope they win this. I hope they win this week, but I seriously doubt it.
So you're saying
I seriously doubt it.
So you're saying the Big South is worse than the SWAC?
Yeah.
Nigga, get off my line. Nigga, get off my line. Shut the fuck up. Get off my
Lucky
line.
nigga.
Nigga, get off my line. Nigga, get off. What are we talking about? Are you serious?
South Carolina State beat Tennessee Tech, though.
I'm not saying I gave them that win. I think that was a solid win, right? Because he hadn't beat. I remember I said he can't beat nobody white, so that was his white win. But are you? The SWAC is better than the Big South. SEMO would run through the SWAC. Are we? What?
UT Martin will run through the SWAC.
What are we talking about right now?
Tennessee Tech will give everybody a run for their money.
Gardner Webb will give Bamas a run for their money. What are we talking about right now? Ricardo. Oh, nigga, get off my line. What are we talking about? What? Huh? Y'all pissing me. I gotta give me some of these. Y'all pissing me off. Perry, where can they catch you at, B?
Yo, you can catch me this weekend. I'll be in Alcorn, Mississippi, Lorman, Mississippi. I'll be up there for the I don't know what they call it when they go back and forth. I used to know it as the Capital City Classic when it was in Jackson. I think when it goes to Lorman, they call it the Soul Bowl. So I guess it just rotates, but I'll be up at the reservation this weekend for the Jackson State Alcorn game. Hope to see the Jackson State fans, Alcorn State fans. I'll be up there trying to see how it go. I think it's a 2 o'clock kickoff, so I know how the traffic gonna be. I'll be up there early. You guys can find me at On the Yard Network. Of course, you can follow it across all social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can catch me on Saturday mornings on the Jaguar Journal. I do a live radio show right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on Saturday mornings on 107.3 FM from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you're never able to catch it live, because I know it's early on a game day, you can always go back and check it out on our YouTube channel, the Jaguar Journal. Just go to it. You can hit subscribe. You can go back and listen to any of my previous shows if you just want to support it. You want to hear me on a platform other than this. And then you can catch me on Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be doing my show with Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Kadar, Hall of Fame college baseball coach and SWAC legend Roger Kadar, and I have a show together. You can go to that YouTube channel as well, Chop It Up with Coach Kadar. And then, of course, every Monday right here with my man Scotty and all y'all crazy tales selves in the comment section and calling in. I love it, man, each and every week, being able to see this stuff and see these reactions right here, 6:30, 6 o'clock every Monday. And, man, look, that show last week, Scotty, I saw the numbers, man. Look, went through the roof, man. I guess everybody was wanting to, hear what we had to say, man. So I'm glad to see the numbers.
What we do last week?
I don't know. I guess because we had missed a week.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was just kind of, yeah.
Everybody was got back in. But listen, let me tell you, I look at the numbers. I think this is the hottest show around, man. When you look at the numbers, I think everybody tunes in. And I sometimes think maybe it's a little too ignorant, but it seems like they like that ignorant. They talk that talk.
Because you see who calling in? Ignorant. Ignorant. Yeah, they like ignorant shit because they ignorant. Like, oh yeah. I think the SWAC is better. Sit your dumb ass down, Ricardo. You look at it and get your number, I will blast your ass so everybody can text you and tell you how stupid you are.
And we give them just enough of it along with the sports, and I think people enjoy to indulge because we make people laugh too. That's the other thing I get from people. They say, man, y'all crack me up. And I be like, who? What happened? They just say, man, you and Scotty, man, y'all funny together. They like, man, y'all like the perfect pair to go back and forth with each other and then, be able to have the conversation. So, and there's nothing but love every time, Scotty. We agree to disagree, but it ain't nothing ever personal, man. We just, hey.
Ain't no Skip and Shannon over here.
No, we just some passionate dudes about our viewpoints, man. And then, you see, we started the show, we went back and forth. Well, we got right back into it like nothing ever happened, man. But that's just a part of the entertainment factor that we love to bring you guys, because he'll have his viewpoint, I have mine, but at the end of the day, we do this for you guys. We do this for the people. And I always tell you guys, I don't never think nobody listen or watch me, but it goes to show when I go places, man, you guys really show a lot of love. And because of that, man, I appreciate everybody that watch. Hey, I'm way different in person when you meet me compared to what you think you see on here. You think you just gonna meet some ignorant, I guess what you see out on your shirt, Bama. Y'all think, man, look, you ain't gonna meet no ignorant Bama when you see me, man. Just say what's up. I say what's up back, man, and show love. So appreciate you guys when you get an opportunity, when I do meet everybody. And then if I don't, the opportunity to just be able to come on here. What'd he say?
He said, Perry spotted on JSU this weekend. Good work, my boy.
Nigga, y'all games all over the place. I just saw Jackson twice this year. I saw you against Pine Bluff. I saw
He's a South Carolina State guy. He's a South Carolina State guy.
Oh.
The person that said it, he's South. Before you start getting all
I thought he was a Jackson guy ready to get me. He's gonna be the one spying. Y'all ain't got shit to do for a month. What you got to do for a month but watch Southern in the Bayou Classic, watch Jackson and Alcorn, on what is that game? Probably ESPN, and then you gonna watch the Swag Championship. Yeah, you gonna be the one spying, man. We giving you plenty of material.
I would love to have they need a MEAC championship. I would love to see a rematch with NCCU.
They just started conference 3 weeks ago. And it's already 3 weeks ago, and South Carolina State already booked their trip to Atlanta. What the hell you gonna do again?
That's 2 weeks ago. That's why they need a MEAC championship, man. They need another game.
So you just played the team 2 weeks ago.
Play them again. Play them again. What's wrong?
The only way you play them again, man, you gotta have to bring Hampton, A&T, and
play them again.
Oh, then I would say do that. Matter of fact, we can
like
send
round
Alabama
robin.
A&M to the MEAC. How about that? Send Alabama A&M to the MEAC. Get him an extra team over there. Maybe Cunningham Manor might find some success over there.
It's like round robin, man. Just play them again.
Man, you don't need no damn championship. Ain't nobody gonna go to that. And ain't nobody gonna...
Who wouldn't go to the NCCU South Carolina State game with that round part 2? Oh, hell yeah, I'll go to that game.
Bro, they just played 2 weeks ago, man. What we
That's
gonna
what
do?
it was a good game.
That's all you saw it too. Now, Southern and Jackson, it's been a whole football season since they played again, so I can understand. That was the 3rd game of the season. That was in September. They're going to play again in December.
Things change, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't shit changing in 2 weeks, Scotty. Things can change in 3 months. But come on, man. We just saw you 2 weeks ago. I don't want to see your ass again. I'll see you next year, Coach. How about that?
I see you. I wouldn't mind it. Listen, guys, man. Listen, you guys know the channel's making a transition. So I want to this is a big interview for me coming down the pipe. Starting safety, the #1 team in the country. Kobe Savage will be in the building on Thursday, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific Standard Time, man. If you guys are Oregon fans, all right, we'll be having an interview with him. I got a Florida player coming up as well, pretty soon as well. So it's gonna be like I said, the transition is here. The transition is here. All right, and also me and Perry will be covering the bowl games for the college football playoffs as well once they start. So be
up, man. I mean, look at SMU. SMU might be left out though. Georgia, they're not even giving Georgia love no more. But Georgia beating Tennessee, getting back into the conversation. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I cannot wait to see how this thing is going to turn out with the college football playoffs.
Dallas.
And Colorado, will they make the playoffs or not? If they win it out,
I hope they don't.
I want them to. Matter of fact, whatever bowl game Colorado gets in, regardless if they don't make it, that joker gonna be crazy.
Yeah, but they got them. If they win out, then they got them at the 4th seed, and they get to skip that first round. And from what I've seen, they will be playing either the winner between Ohio State and Boise State.
They will get a bye week if they win out and win the conference championship.
Yep,
seriously.
That's the mock-up I see. I'll show it to you.
Bro, that's crazy. Colorado would get a bye week?
Yep.
Does Deion Sanders get Coach of the Year if that happens?
Absolutely.
You got to give it to him?
Absolutely. And, I don't even want to do that.
I never gave a damn about no Colorado. Last time I real life watched Colorado was when Vince Young was at Texas, and Vince Young and Texas beat the hell out of Colorado. I think like 70-something to 0. in the Big 12 championship. That was the last time I heard of Colorado up until now.
Let me see. This is what it looks like. So if they went out, they would be the 4th seed.
That's
because they won the Big 12 championship. And they'll be playing the winner between I believe they will play the lowest, they'll play the highest seed out of everybody who wins.
How is Texas out of this? What happened with Texas to not make the playoff?
It's too many SEC teams. So Texas, everybody's got to win out. But Texas lost to Georgia, so they got the head-to-head.
That's crazy. And the way the SEC shaped up right now with no divisions, Texas A&M and Texas right there, that's going to work itself out. Georgia just beat Tennessee, who Tennessee only had 1 loss. That was to Arkansas. Yeah. Now they lost to Georgia. They lost to Georgia. Then you still got Georgia sitting right there. On the outside looking in is Alabama. That's the crazy thing, who, because of all of that jumbled upness, may sneak in and not even have to worry about everybody else.
Yeah. So like I said, this is just a mock-up of what could possibly happen coming down the line. But
I don't see Texas. I don't give a damn what happens. I do not see Texas missing the playoffs at all. I mean, at worst, give them the 12th seed. And then what's going to change? Indiana has Ohio State this weekend. I think Ohio State going to bump them. So it's going to be some things to change looking at this. But I do like Boise State. They lost to Oregon by 3 points this year. That's their only loss, but they got a Heisman Trophy candidate at running back. And has anybody seen this guy? Absolute stud.
Absolute stud.
Miami may fall out the way that if it goes down. I'm not a fan of Miami.
Surprised SMU isn't up there because they're undefeated in conference, no conference losses.
It's been who they've been playing though. They have not. You heard you guys just talking about Tennessee State, a no winning team. SMU has not played. The only team they played of relevance that really isn't is Florida State. They didn't have Clemson nor Miami on their schedule this year. So SMU is kind of like snuck through in their first year in the ACC and kind of found their little niche. But man, they have not played anybody worth anything out so far.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun ride closing out. I hope Colorado loses to Kansas this weekend so I can do some bragging.
I want Colorado at this point, man, to go all the way. Come on, Keon.
I don't.
I love it. Nope. I don't hear nobody in the media talking about this man no more the way they was talking about him last year, bashing him and
Big 12 is bad. Big 12 is just bad.
The Big 12, Colorado should have been bad like the rest of them, but they not.
It's bad. It's a down year for the Big 12. They caught on the rebound.
Yeah, whatever. You mean adding new teams and then it's a down year?
Hell yeah, because you lost the biggest brands. Texas, they weren't gonna beat Texas. They weren't gonna beat Oklahoma.
They probably could have beat Oklahoma this year.
Man,
they probably could have beat Oklahoma, but Texas, that would have been a hell of a game. Colorado and Texas, I would have loved to see that.
I'm surprised that Oklahoma State looks as bad as they do. Like that,
they fell apart after they had that come from behind victory against Arkansas in like week 2, week 3.
I was watching that game.
Yo, you remember you texted me about that one?
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Arkansas blew it, and then they ended up playing Kansas State. And then once Kansas State beat them, it's just like it deflated everything out of them, and they haven't looked the same since. So,
and honestly, like, if we're being honest, I mean, Colorado should have lost to Baylor, should have lost to North Dakota State. Man, it's been
coulda. They got it done though.
They pulled that out. Yeah, you're right. They pulled it out.
Outside of that Nebraska game, because when they lost to Nebraska, everybody was ready
to go. They would be the bottom team in the Big Ten. But whatever.
They had to figure it out, man. They've grown up. They like Southern shit. They just find ways to get it done. It ain't pretty, but they get it done. And the way that they beat Utah, I was like, you know what? All right. Utah ain't everything.
No quarterback. And Utah's defense was balling. They were good for the first half. They ain't got no quarterback.
But what does that say? And I think the SWAC has to acknowledge this moving forward. And while I'm talking about Colorado, Deion Sanders left the SWAC along with his son, and they are now a national brand in college football, getting victories, and they came from right here in the SWAC. Regardless if anybody want to give that credit, and I know Jackson fans may not have liked the way he left. I know there was whatever the case may be, but man, listen, that is huge because Shedeur still talks about it.
Yeah.
Y'all looked at me as a nobody, a kid coming from an HBCU, because he felt that chip on his shoulder. Because other than Jackson State, what, he was going to go to Florida Atlantic? FAU? Come on, man. So the fact that he came here, he balled out and did his thing. He won the Walter Payton Award.
Yeah.
The only thing he just could never do was win that Celebration Bowl. That was the only tarnishment. But I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't lose a SWAC game. And Deion Sanders came in, and when they told me to wait till the fall, boy, I didn't want to. I thought that was funny. I laughed walking out of Veterans Memorial. They was telling me to wait till the fall after that spring season. And my God, did the fall come, and they whooped my ass and everybody else's ass for the next 2 years. And Deion got out of here with that. But I just think that's impressive, and that's a good look for us, the fact that they were able to leave Jackson State and take that success to Colorado. And they struggled in year one building it, but in year two, boom, it is right there, man. That's awesome.
He didn't win the Walter Payton. He won the Freshman of the Year award. But
Freshman of the Year award.
Freshman of the Year award. My thing is this, and you know me, I go back to business. I just hate that Jackson State didn't capitalize on it very well. That's the Jerry Rice Award. That's the only
one of somebody
that's
from a black college big name here. Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, one of us.
Right. That's my only issue with the whole thing, is that you see one is this, is the level of celebrityism that you see in Colorado. My issue is why, and this has nothing to do with Jackson. It's just like, why didn't you see that same type of just like, you gotta get what I'm saying? Like just like that fanfare.
I get it, because Coach Kadar, when we do our show, he is so pissed off at everything about Jackson, from the city to the school. He said they had the goose that laid the golden egg and they let it walk away. Now, I don't know what it could have done to keep it, but it was the fact that you had it, man. I would have pulled out whatever I could. Plus, nobody took advantage of it. Deion took full advantage of it. He brought Barstool in and did everything he wanted to do. I mean, everybody literally just sat back and watched him, and nobody learned from what he did in order to take us. What are we doing as a conference right now to pick up from where he left off when he dipped? What do we take from any of that? We didn't take nothing.
Nothing.
And they had the goose that laid the golden egg. And it was just on the cusp. Remember, it was only 2 years at Jackson.
Yeah.
It was only 2 years. And the fact is, man, they had it right there in their hand. What they say, the song, you got the whole world in your hand.
I think even if I see Paris said, what if we weren't allowed to, which I believe that Deion had restraints and restrictions. But
who was stopping it though? Like you say, he wasn't allowed. Like,
Deion in his contract, like they probably wasn't able to do certain things in his contract, or you know what, just to acquiesce to Deion, right? Like you're just like, oh my God, it's Deion. Like, even though you're giving him the job opportunity to even give him the notoriety, but neither here nor there. There's a mutual benefit on both sides, but we won't get there far. My issue is just the I mean, like the SWAC alone for not taking advantage of Deion is just asinine to me.
Can Jackson State not sell Shedeur Sanders jerseys right now? They can't sell Travis Hunter jerseys. I would love a Travis Hunter jersey.
NIL.
That's crazy.
You got to get it approved. They got to allow you to sell that.
A Hunter and Sanders jersey, Jackson State, with all the multiple color combos that they have.
They got to approve that. It's not like the old college days where because the player if you put a player's name on the jersey, they have to get a piece of what it is. So
give them some. I mean, because it's gonna sell like hotcakes. Hey, if I even just come out with 30%, 40%, that's better than nothing.
Listen,
because if Travis Hunter fuck around and win the Heisman, and you had that kid at your school, and you can't benefit from nothing of that Heisman.
But you gotta think of it like you gotta see it in the sense of where Jackson has their hands tied behind their back, because if the player says no, you can't do it. And Deion is probably telling them not, because think about it. As soon as they get to Colorado, it's 12-2 jerseys everywhere. It's 12-2 jerseys everywhere. I could go online right now to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy me a Travis Hunter jersey, or buy me a Shedeur jersey right now, right here.
So
right
you
now.
said that should have taken place in the moment.
Absolutely.
But
it has to be approved by the player. It has to be approved by the player.
That's crazy if this man go win the Heisman. And then Shador being one of the top draft picks. It's just, do you see the value that whatever the fuck happened that Jackson State cannot value off that? That's crazy that there's a market for that, even if they gone to Colorado and you can't eat off none of that, but you should have took full advantage of it in the opportunity, just looking down the field, looking ahead into the future, looking into the tunnel. Regardless if they had instant success there, it was just the fact that they was there. And you should have been able to write that in the contract. You should have took full advantage of it. Matter of fact, you should have had all the footage, because if Travis wins the Heisman and Shador wins the damn, if Shador goes first round, you know what I can do with that if I got footage that to be able to market my school with that and recruit. Never mind.
It's a different beast. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. It's a different animal. But hey, guys, man, we appreciate your time, man. Come on. Give me some points. Yeah. Let's go.
But you in fantasy football, or you just trying to win?
No, fantasy football. Me and my friend.
Who you got that's playing tonight?
CJ Stroud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't have Dak Prescott.
Hell no.
And what's the new nigga name?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
No.
Cooper Rush's ass.
I do, like me and my boys from the military, we do a fan duel. We all put in money every week and we pick our players, and then whoever wins gets the pool of money. So that's how we do it. So I love that. I don't do fantasy football no more. I just do that fan duel stuff. I love it. It's addicting because every week you get to pick players. I hate that keeping up and who hurt. No, I ain't got time for all that. I like to put
I'm number one in both my fantasy leagues, baby. 8-2. I'll be 9-2 as of 12 o'clock midnight tonight. I'm rocking and rolling in both my fantasy league. I manage teams very well. So.
Yeah, I don't got time for all that. and you don't manage teams very well because we took a 2-month hiatus from NCAA after I won the championship.
It wasn't about you. It was the rest of the game, man. I had to give guys a break. I think we would say, you and I, I'm with it. But I had to give guys a break. I had to let them unplug for a second because you can burn out. And I think they was getting burnt out because we did a whole season.
Dog, I'm in a league. I've done 3 seasons in like 2 months.
Because all of them bought into it. And y'all playing with actual teams. We in this motherfucker with HBCU teams, boys. It's killing morales around here trying to
recruit.
It's killing morales, man. Trying to get guys to, so. But it seemed like everybody started to get back into it. I gave everybody a break. And plus, we coming to the backside of football anyway. It's going to be a lot of free time coming up for guys. So it's a good time. So we going to get it back rolling, man. Congratulations. Scotty won our league too, man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. All right, man. Let me get up out here before McDonald's closes. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.